Main Street Media Thursday night football game of the week is on the air. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Tennessee Safety Highway Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, to bring you tonight's action, here are Wade Neely and Scott Stewart.
And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to another edition of Main Street Prep's Thursday night high school football game of the week action presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. We come to you tonight, week 2. We survived week 1, and now we're braving the elements here tonight. It is a scorcher on the campus of Marshall County High School. We come to you live from the Preston Hopkins Field here in downtown Lewisburg, where tonight the 1-0 Marshall County Tigers will host the 0-1 Shelbyville Golden Eagles here. And again, the Main Street Preps Thursday night high school game of the week. Hello, folks, alongside Scott Stewart. Chris Bledsoe is in the house as well tonight. Wade Neely saying hello. And Scott, we have made the trip up, and we are here in a balmy Thursday night here as temperatures are going to flirt with triple digits by the time we get this thing kicked off. But we are ready for week 2 of the high school football season, and all eyes will be upon Preston Hopkins Field tonight as Marshall County hosts Shelbyville Central.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to note right off the bat, Wade. Number one, I was really nice to Mother Nature last week and told her how great of a job she did on the weather, and I don't know if I made her mad. I don't know, but she backed up on us a little bit, and this is not the same weather we had last week. Let's get that out of the way. A lot of games have been pushed back start time to get to cooler weather, so it could be down in the low 90s instead of the high 90s.
Right.
This game is not one of them. We do have a couple of games tomorrow night for sure that will be. The other thing is, if there's anybody out there looking to be a person that builds a football stadium in the future, do not, let me repeat, do not face it towards the west. All right, because that, my friends, football is generally played in the evening and the sun generally goes down in the west. So I wanted to go ahead and make those two small requests and small observations. Now, as far as football goes, which is what we're here for, I think we got a chance for a decent ball game here tonight, simply because we don't really know what Marshall County's offense can do. We do know what Shelbyville's can do, but we don't know what Shelbyville's defense can do because they were in a big high-scoring affair last week. Marshall County in a low-scoring affair last week. What we do know is that Marshall County won their game and Siegel, right, won the game against Shelbyville. I'll make sure I didn't get that wrong. So you got one at 1-0, 1-0-1. We were talking last week about getting off on that right step, that right foot. Marshall County did. Shelbyville didn't. Shelbyville's maybe a little bit more of eye of the tiger than the Tigers do.
Yeah, and you said it best. 2 totally different ball games last week, as last Thursday, Shelbyville goes on the road and Shelbyville hosts Siegel,
right,
and they fall 55-43. Marshall County goes on the road and they win 16-0. So you summed it up perfectly. We know what Shelbyville's offense is capable of. Did we get a true look at Shelbyville's defense last week, or did the game kind of get away from them? We're not sure. On the flip side, you got to feel that, especially under 10-year head coach Thomas Osteen, who is an offensive guru, you got to feel like they're not happy with just putting up 16 points, even if it came in a win last Friday.
You know, they scored 16, which was all they needed on a 16-0 game. But I promise you, we know enough about Thomas Osteen to know that he's not happy with a 16-point game. Now, it was the first game, like we talked about last week, and we also know that it can be some jitters. We don't know what happened. We don't really have the stats to show what the penalties were and how many turnovers everybody had. But at the end of the day, I think one thing I would be expecting to see tonight would be Thomas Osteen's offense do better. So that already puts the onus over on Shelbyville. Can Shelbyville continue to, if they're forced to, can Shelbyville score like they did against Siegel? It sounds like Marshall County's defense came out ready to shut some folks down already this year, which they already have.
Yeah, and it further to heighten your point there, it was interesting how the 2 games played out because, as we mentioned, Marshall County, they put the onus of their team on their offense with Coach Thomas Osteen kind of being a quarterback guru and a offensive guru over the years. Meanwhile, second-year head coach Judd Dryden, he kind of hangs his hat on defense. So Shelbyville undoubtedly was not very pleased with their defensive performance as
53, right?
as they
55.
give up the 50-plus points last week to Siegel. So that is kind of the tale of the tape between these two teams. There are a lot, I repeat, a lot of explosive playmakers on both of these teams. Not saying that we will get a game in the 40s and 50s like we saw Shelbyville last Thursday night, but the possibility is there because Marshall County and Shelbyville, they both feature talented rosters in this matchup. The 5A Golden Eagles taking on the 4A Tigers here, again at Preston Hopkins Field. Week 2 of our Thursday night game of the week. Main Street Preps coverage is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. And Scott, week 1 in the books. Week 2, we're kind of kicking it off tonight. You're right, Mother Nature not dealing a kind hand to us here this evening. And I'm honestly a little surprised that this kickoff was not delayed because, as you alluded to earlier, there were several games across the mid-state and even down into Alabama that are moving their games back to a 7:30 or even an 8 o'clock start to avoid some of the heat.
I don't mind the heat. I can't wait for that sun to peek down over that horizon there. It looks like we're probably about 15 or 20 minutes from that. We may have a little game time with it, but by most of this game, we won't have that sun in our face. But I will say this too, Wade. I want to tell the folks, I'm sorry, Wade has already made a amazing. Oh, well, let's take this break real quick, and then we'll talk about that.
All right, we're going to step aside for a quick timeout. A reminder, folks, that you are listening to the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We are back in 2 minutes.
Tater Shack. We take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710, or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Cry Like Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Street Preps Thursday night game of the week. Coverage rolling right along, brought to you each and every single Thursday by the fine folks at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Week 2 of our schedule. Again, we're on the campus of Marshall County High School. We are in lovely Lewisburg, Tennessee, where the Shelbyville Golden Eagles Preps have made the trip down for this big non-conference showdown series. If you go back to at least 2000, this is a pretty dead even heat between these two teams. Scott, 6-4, the series favoring Marshall County, including a big win last year. But it was a nail biter the last time these two teams met here in Lewisburg, 21-14. Last year there were a lot of points scored, but 2 years ago here in Lewisburg, it was 21-14. It'll be interesting to see how this game shakes out tonight.
It's turning kind of a rivalry game. Of course, Marshall County used to be a big Giles County rival, and with Giles County staying in 3A when Marshall County came up to 4A, and Shelbyville's not even in their district. They're a class up, but this game has become a pretty big rivalry between these guys.
Really kind of has morphed into a fun one over the last couple of years as the teams are slowly making their way out. The captains are out, and we've got Marshall County going to be wearing blue tops with white bottoms, white helmets, and the Golden Eagles are going to be wearing white tops with blue bottoms and gold helmets. Very similar color schemes between these two squads here tonight as we are getting ready for kickoff here.
I do not have a 53 on my roster for Shelbyville, so you'll have to, if that is 53, it looks like it is from here. So I can tell you the captains for Marshall County are going to be Kamani Ewing, Wyatt Joyce, Brandon Tucker, and Bowen Porch. But I do not have a 53 on my roster for them, for Shelbyville. So Logan McBee is number 53. Number 21 also, Radon Crenshaw, Garrett Doak, and Nathan DeLaughter. I'm not sure how to say that one. What about it, Mr. Professional?
I'm keeping my eyes fixed on the coin toss here as
it's DeLaughter, I think is what it is. We'll go with that until we hear different.
I'm with you, partner. As DeLaughter.
DeLaughter, okay.
I think we'll officially go with. By the way, just a rather ho-hum game for the senior quarterback last week. 2 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Marshall County has one. They will defer, if you will. Shelbyville's going to get the ball to start the ball game. And they will choose I guess that would be the south. They would choose to defend the south end zone. Marshall County would defend the north end zone. We're ready to
Yep, just as the sun is creeping the horizon directly in front of us here, it is so good to be with you guys once again on the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Alongside Scott Stewart, Chris Bledsoe will join us at halftime, third member of our team here on site, and back at Main Street Preps headquarters, our producer, the great one,
man,
Justin Kulik.
Justin.
As teams are just about ready to get things underway. Shelbyville played last Thursday, as we mentioned, in that game versus Siegel, and Marshall County was at Columbia. A new-look Columbia team. They had a lot of energy playing in their home opener.
New coach.
First-year head coach Tredarius Goff. They were rolling, partner. You're exactly right.
They were really high on that team coming in, and turns out that they met up against a pretty seasoned, strong Marshall County team that kind of took the wind out of their sails. But you never know. That team could bounce back and be a factor over on their side easy. Of course, we know Marshall County is always going to be a factor in their region, their district. Looking to go 2-0 here, get this season started off right.
Marshall County plays Station Camp next week in their showdown. Speaking of next
Sumner
week,
County.
Yeah, right up. Yeah, we've talked a lot about Sumner County already. They
got
their stadium is okay for the moment.
Several of Sumner County teams have had to condemn their bleachers. It's interesting. Wade and I come from Giles County, where we had that problem about 15 years ago, and we got a whole new stadium out of it. Sounds like some of those teams over in Sumner County will as well.
Way out, here come the Golden Eagles as well. And again, we are one step closer to kickoff. Marshall County winning the toss and deferring to the second half. And their kicker, senior Wyatt Joyce, 5'10", 151 pounds. He is committed to Air Force. He's a great kicker, but he's a bright young man, outstanding student here at Marshall. They're proud of Mr. Joyce, who will kick things off. And he's the only one out there for now. He's looking around saying, where's my coverage, folks? And we're kind of winding down what little bit pregame. A veteran officiating crew here tonight, too. I think they were looking at the sun setting over there, and they said, you know what, maybe we will delay this kick by a minute or two to see if we can get a little more cover here as it's finally drifted below the skyline over there.
Well, I can tell them I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's staring right at us.
Keep your eyes down, Wade. Eyes down.
Woo. Tigers are now finally ready to kick it off. And we are moments away finally from getting this thing underway. Had a from the 29. And now they have trips to the left. One in the backfield is Cawthorn. Teet's going to roll to his left. The southpaw quarterback firing toward the slot, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
We'll take this opportunity to tell you guys we're sorry we went away. We've had it's hot up here, and I think the hot spot actually went down due to the heat because it was in the sun there for a second. Marshall County picked up a turnover right about the 45-yard line from Shelbyville. Shelbyville and the Marshall County lost a yard on their first play from scrimmage after that turnover. Now it's 4th down and 11.
So as we mentioned a moment ago, talented place kicker here, Wyatt Joyce out for a 36-yard field goal from the right side hash. The Air Force commit, sizing one up, out of the hold of Teet, the quarterback. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is blocked. Kick is blocked.
58.
58 might got a paw to it, and it's going to roll down. And Marshall County will down it at the 1, but the momentum carried the ball into.
It's going to end up being a touchback.
And a
so
touchback.
Field goal was blocked by number 58. And the ball goes, and then Marshall County takes the ball into the end zone, which gives Shelbyville 1st and 10 at their 20. No harm, no foul for Shelbyville. They got to be real happy that they got out of that way here with 9:35 left in the first period. And we welcome you guys back. Sorry about the issues we had with our internet connection.
So 1st and 10. The turnover, as Scott mentioned, does no harm to Shelbyville. 9:35 to go. Shelbyville turned it over. Marshall County had a kick blocked. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. This is the second offensive drive for the Golden Eagles. Working right to left. DeLauder is back in the gun. High snap of sorts, but he does bring it down. And a nice hard run on that right side. And the ball came loose again. Looks like a lineman for Shelbyville was able to fall on it at around the 23, fighting for extra yards. Looked like the tailback,
number 31,
Bailey had it stripped. And Shelbyville fortunate to fall on it. 2 early fumbles.
Give him a couple yards there. Lead up 2nd and 8 at the 22. It's good to fight hard, Wade, but you got to keep that ball secure or all that fighting for our extra yardage is doing nobody any good.
2nd and 8. Spread formation in again here for the Eagles as they give. And a nice surge right up the middle this time. Back to Chandler. And Chandler picks up about 9 yards. Needed 8 for the first, and he picked up 9.
They're out to the 31-yard line, got the 9 yards for the first down. Wade, Shelbyville had moved the ball pretty well as we were away there for a minute. They did turn the ball over about the 40, 42-yard line. But before that, they were able to move the ball pretty well.
Good snap. Back to the quarterback, DeLauder, breaks a tackle right at the point attack there. And somebody from Marshall County's dinged up. DeLauder ends up picking up a couple. And we got a defensive lineman a little shaken up. Elijah Wenzel, the senior, made contact with DeLauder, didn't bring him down, and he's dinged up at the play. 5-yard pickup. So now from the 36, 2nd 5, give right to the Teet, the Tiger defense.
Right now they're making their hay right up the middle.
Yep.
Which you cannot be happy about on the Marshall County side. You do not want that your middle to get weak on you. Pick up above 6 yards there.
Chandler running it up to the 42. Nothing your score. 7:35 to go. We're in the opening quarter. Twin wideouts to the left for DeLauder, who pumps to the near sideline now. The Shelbyville near sideline, that is. And the catch is made. And it is made by Ransom on that far sideline. Ron Ransom hauls it in and is brought down immediately. That's a pickup of about 9 yards there.
2nd one now across first snap over into Marshall County territory to be at the 48-yard line.
Good catch there for Ransom. And they stay in the same formation. Twins to the near side. And they give right up the middle and a bruising run right there for the Golden Eagles. Tailback carrying that one for about 8 yards or so.
No, he got it. He went, yeah. That is about 8.
They go right back, and this time strung into backfield. 2 Marshall County players converging. Good effort there. First man on the scene was Bowen Porch, one of the standout linemen, slowing down the ball carrier, and he's eventually dropped in the backfield. Small loss on the play.
Yeah, it's a short loss, but they clogged up the middle that time, made him kick out, and that allowed Porch to clean him up. Wade, that's what they want to do. That's what Marshall County is going to want to do, is clog up that middle where they're not gashing them for all those yards.
6:15 to go, opening quarter. DeLauder trying to get the Tigers to jump off. They've got 4 down linemen, 2 backers. Almost a nickel or dime look here for the Tiger defense, and now a bruising run over the left side. And a good carry there. And Marshall County is able to bring the ball carrier down. That's Elijah Cable making the stop. Got a little bit of the yardage back. Manageable 3rd down now for the Golden Eagles here.
Pick up of 1, 2, 3. Was that 3-yard gain? 6. So it's going to be about 3rd down and 8 here at the 38-yard line.
Big 3rd down here. Shelbyville turned it over on their opening drive. We are scoreless. 5:25 here in Lewisburg tonight. Crowd coming to life at Preston Hopkins Peak for the first time. Wins to the right for DeLauder. Here's slant pass is
nice
incomplete.
Curry again.
Great job right there. You're right. Curry arriving right as the catch was set to be made and jars the ball loose. It's incomplete.
4th and 8 at the 38. I'm pretty sure Shelbyville's going to go ahead and go for it here on 4th and 8 at the 38-yard line. He was a little slow. I will say this: the quarterback was a little slow getting the pass off. If he got the pass off a little quicker, he would have had time to haul it in. But the receiver never really got his hands on it before Curry out there at that safety spot lowered the boom on it.
Big stop on 3rd down. Can Marshall County come up with a big stop on 4th? Can the Golden Eagles convert on 4th? Biggest play of the game thus far. Ball at the Marshall 38. Tigers shifting along the line, and I think they got Shelbyville to move. And that could be 5 free yards.
Yeah, defensive shift caused the running back to start. Fourth and 13 now at the 43.
And now the question becomes, do you keep the offense out? And it looks like they are going to maybe punt this ball away here. Ben Betzenberger is the junior punter. He's going to kick this from his own 45. Marshall County does have 1 man back deep. And we had an equipment issue with one of the Tigers, so the Tigers have just 10 out here. Now we're finally ready. Again, the Golden Eagles forced to punt here. Betzenberger back to kick. It is a high kick that does not get a ton of distance, and now it takes a small Marshall County bounce. And the Tigers are going to be in pretty good position, all things considered, right around their own 35-yard line. Less than a 20-yard punt right there for Shelbyville. That's not what you want.
Right off the side of his foot. I saw him punting earlier. He definitely had a better leg than that. He just came off the side of his foot. Down to the 34-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
So a 10-play drive culminates in a punt. Good stand defensively there for the Tigers. Nothing your score. Just under 5 to go in this opening quarter. Shelbyville now with 3 down linemen. Tigers going to give right up the middle. Here comes Cawthorn. Running hard to his left. Modest gain there for Cawthorn on 1st and 10. Maybe got about 2 yards after they spot it. 2nd and 7, they call it.
Pick up 3, yep. At the 37-yard line. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, counting the punt, 9 plays. That's the kind of drive you want, but you definitely want points out of it.
Empty backfield here for Teat. Looking, firing over the middle. The pass is in and out of the hands for the Tigers. Randolph running with a full head of steam, but did not secure possession. And Marshall County will be faced with a 3rd and long situation now.
Yeah, he was in traffic, cleared the player right as the ball got to him, and I think that kind of messed up his concentration on being able to hang on to that ball. Now we're coming up to another 3rd down. Both teams have had good opportunities to get some points on the board. Neither one so far, Wade.
Second incompletion of the night for Teat is now 3rd and 7. Little bit of an end around here, and the Golden Eagles are not fooled. They scout that play out well, flying to the football and making the stop. Logan McBee, maybe the best overall player on the line and in the defensive unit as well for the Golden Eagles. He makes a great stop in the backfield, and the Tigers now will be forced to punt.
Yeah, you can actually credit that tackle to William Bobo. He's the one that turned him up and just led him right into the young man who ended up tackling right into his hands.
So just as quickly as the Tigers receive possession, they're going to give it right back. 3:25 to go, late in the first quarter. Joyce swings, gets a pretty good kick on it, and a nice roll, though. It bounces at around the 34, and it's going to keep rolling. Still rolling down to about the 18-yard line. Good punt there, all things considered. And we go back and forth here, Scott Stewart. 3:11 remaining in the first quarter here on the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds fans that good fans don't let fans drive drunk. That special teams unit for the Tigers, always a weapon. It takes a really good team and makes them an elite team more often than not. And it can take an average team and make them a solid team. They have benefited from a great number of kickers over the years and a good punt there to flip the field.
Well, we need to remember right now we're going to have some extended breaks with this heat. With last week we saw cramping and it wasn't anywhere near this hot.
No,
and so we can look forward to some extended breaks as far as the whenever they do get a break, they're going to let them get some water and hydrate.
Shelbyville fumbled on their opening possession. Marshall County couldn't do anything with it. They had a field goal that was blocked. And then Shelbyville went 9+ plays, forced a punt on their own, and then Marshall County promptly went 3 and out. Still scoreless here late in the first.
We probably need to catch our listeners up. I'll give you a little clue in here in just a second.
Give to the left side. Cawthorn making a nice individual tackle there for Marshall County for a stop. Minimal gain there on the tote.
So I think on our production end of this, they were expecting this game to start later. I think they thought it had gotten moved back. I think we just now went on the air. So we need to tell folks where we are. We are at Marshall County. Marshall County is taking on Shelbyville. Shelbyville visiting the Tigers here.
Second and short. DeLauder, the quarterback, is going to call his own number, and he is slammed to the turf. Brandon Tucker, the senior, got his hands on him and did not let go. And the question will be, did he get close to the sticks? He's definitely going to be short.
No, he
didn't. No gain on the play.
So, yeah, we are at Marshall County High School, Lewisburg, Tennessee, where Marshall County is hosting Shelbyville. We're late in the first quarter, 2:16 left here in the first quarter, no score. You hadn't missed much, but there's been a little action, but no scoring.
Give up the middle, and there is a penalty marker. Could be a procedure penalty against Golden Eagles here with 2:07 to play in this opening quarter.
Everybody's tied. So it's going to be another false start.
And that's the third procedure penalty against the Golden Eagles here.
Yeah, we've had a fumble block field goal, long drive by Shelbyville, and no score so far.
Clock running, under 2 to go here in this opening quarter, still scoreless. DeLauder shuffling the troops around. He's got one split to his left. He's got 3 out to his right, and there's a low snap, and I think it was another false start. The Tigers' best defense is getting the Shelbyville offensive line shook right now.
Running backs, yeah, it's the running back every time too.
And that's probably the good news for Shelbyville, that it was just a false start there because the snap was very low. 3rd and 12, they mark it now. South of the 20-yard line. Late in this first quarter, Preston Hopkins faithful coming to life here. Shelbyville brought a good crowd tonight as well. DeLauder, the QB. Again, trips to his right.
Dang, he about did it again.
Nearly false starting, and nearly not going to get this playoff if they're not careful. We got to be getting close.
He's got his hand up. Apparently the clock's not working.
Here comes the snap. The snap is good. The throw, incomplete. Good coverage there for Marshall County as Jamal Gentry, a junior, was running step for step with the receiver, but it was overshot anyway, and it'll be another punting situation.
So 4th and 11 now at the 17-yard line. The receiver got a step. The quarterback had to grab his shirt a little bit, but the ball was so far overthrown, he wasn't going to get it to him anyway. Sorry about that.
Marshall County trying to get their troops in order. They had a substitution issue on the last punt attempt. They bring pressure here, nearly got to him. It is fielded, and it is brought out across the 35.
Yeah.
A.J. Jones has got a crease down the sideline. He is stripped of the football at the 18. From the 43 to the 18, and it looks like recovered their own fumble here. Jones had a great return down the
30 yards
near hash there.
Well, about 20 yards actually. Took it in about the 40 and got all the way down to the 20. He was going out of bounds and they just knocked the ball loose. Flag on the field we're hearing. Yes, I see it over there now. So White Hat's coming. Gonna tell us all about it.
Officials are mic'd up tonight too. And tough break for Shelbyville here as they touched the ball while out of bounds. As Scott said, it was so close to the sideline, and so illegal participation. And the only thing I'm wondering is if it was somebody that was not involved in the play.
Hey, look, they got 10 yards on top of that. So Marshall County starting inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal, with 44 seconds left here in the first period.
From the Shelbyville 9, this has been a wild game with no scoring thus far. Teat is under the gun now, and on 1st and goal, he gives to Crenshaw. And Cawthorn, beg pardon, and Cawthorn is strung all the way to the far sideline. Good job of Shelbyville of stretching the play out, but Cawthorn did pick up pretty good yardage there. Be 2nd and goal for the Tigers.
Line. So he's going to pick up about 5. 2nd and goal here at the 4.
Nothing, your score. Tigers had a field goal blocked earlier. Teat now under center, but only briefly. Now he backs into the gun. Cawthorn, the talented back to his left hip. And the Tigers looking to get this play in. They look a little confused here. Still got time on the play clock. Twin wideouts to the left. And they give to Cawthorn right up the middle. He breaks one tackle, and he breaks the second, rolling right in for the opening touchdown. Wild turn of events there as Jones had the great punt return. The Penalty on the illegal participation gives Marshall County the ball even closer. 1st and goal from the 9. They score a couple of plays later. Cawthorn running hard into the end zone. It's 6-0 Marshall County.
That's going to end up being a 2. I'm going to go ahead and count the plays up for you. 2-play drive for 9 yards and a touchdown set up by the return and penalty on the punt.
Tigers will swing the gate here in case there's any Notre Dame fans watching or listening, I should say. 28 seconds remaining in the quarter. Shelbyville got a good surge off the line. Joyce swings and puts the PAT up and through. And we take a timeout. 7-0 is your score. 28 seconds remaining in this first quarter. The Tigers strike first. You're listening to the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Back with you guys here. Main Street Preps Thursday night high school game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office alongside Scott Stewart. Wade Neely saying hello. Scott, we have our first points of the ball game, and they belong to the Marshall County Tigers after a rushing touchdown from their talented tailback, Mr. Cawthorn.
Yep, got a good. I tell you, that was all set up by Marshall County's good punt that hit the ground and rolled all the way down here to the 17-yard line. They forced, of course, three false start penalties, forced Shelbyville back. They punted, and the ball was taken by the receiver right around the 40-yard line. He returned it 20 yards, had the ball knocked out as they went out of bounds, and then chaos ensued with a penalty that moved the ball inside the 10-yard line for Marshall County. 2 plays later, you got a touchdown. Marshall County leads 7-0, and now they're tapping on their 5th quarter if they get through this one, having not allowed a touchdown yet this year.
Trying to catch our breath here, as these teams are as well, as Joyce will kick it off. It does just get into the end zone, and Shelbyville will take over. 28 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Tigers on top, 7-0 here on Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
So now what do you do if you're Shelbyville? Of course, last week we know that they were able to score a lot. And right now, Marshall County's pretty much got their number. Of course, they're making their own mistakes, but Marshall County's doing what they need to do to keep them hemmed in. Let's see if they can continue that.
1st and 10, zone give right up the middle, and look out, folks. Radon Crenshaw, number 31. Excuse me, that's Robert Bailey. Bailey just flying right there up the middle. Big pickup on what could be the final play of the quarter unless they snap it one more here.
Well, that's the one thing they have been able to do so far is run that ball up the middle, right? And pretty much it will so far.
They will snap it. 5 seconds to go. Hand off to the left side. 1 tackler there, 2 tacklers there. Now a third comes in. Pretty good tote on that near side there for Chandler. Marshall County had a couple players to stymie that effort. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. A lot of action, but a low-scoring affair. But at the end of one, it's Marshall County 7, Shelbyville Central 0. Scott and I will be right back with quarter number 2 as you are listening to the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Dixon Potato Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710, or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Crye-Leike Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Second quarter underway here. Marshall County leading Shelbyville Central. This is the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week. Quick slant, and it is complete.
Well defense. They tried to do a slip screen out here to the far side, and the two defensive backs, I just want to call them out because they did such a good job out there. Ewing and Perryman did a good job of double teaming on that and knocking that back for a 3-yard, 4-yard loss.
2nd and 13 now. Shelbyville started this drive at their own 20, quickly out across midfield. They ran the ball well tonight, and on 2nd and 13, got a penalty flag. Looks like Marshall County might have jumped this time. And encroachment against the Tigers here. That's a good way to take 2nd and 13 to make it a little more manageable.
Yeah, without much effort, right?
Exactly. So ball now resting right around the 35. From the near side, give right up the middle once more to Bailey. This is a talented sophomore runner. And he is brought down by Christian Wilson, the senior. But not before he picks up a first down. Good tote right there, right up the middle.
The offensive line for Shelbyville is doing a really good job making those holes right where the running back's going. You know, it's their blocking schemes are really just doing a good job right now on the front.
Golden Eagles are driving left to right. That's south to the north. Blue pants, white tops, gold helmets. Marshall County leads 7-0. Can Shelbyville bring this game level? DeLauder takes the snap, fires, and is, I believe, caught, but falling right to the turf is Micah Threat, who had 2 touchdowns last week, and now they're going to rule that pass incomplete.
2nd 10 now. Shelbyville's moved the ball down to 26. Their deepest penetration so far in this ball game, and really they are the offense that has moved the ball more. They've done more to hurt themselves. Now that they face a 2nd and 10 at the 26.
And DeLauder throws one toward the near sideline. Again, this is incomplete. Theo Washington now the intended receiver.
Yeah, right now the stats for the quarterback not looking good, but it's not his fault. It's the guys that are catching, supposed to be catching the ball aren't catching it. That was right in the receiver's hands on another one of those quick dumps out on the edge.
9:19 to go till half. Marshall County leading this contest 7-0. Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage. Just a big play here. 3rd and long. DeLauder's going to roll to his right, now come across to his left,
that
and a
was
third
his fault.
straight incompletion.
That one was his fault. But I don't think it was going anywhere because the Marshall County defense had blown that up before the receiver, but the ball was too high. He wasn't going to catch it. So they get the ball all the way down to 26, and then 3 straight incompletions put them at a 4th and 10, Wade.
And the offense is staying out here. Coach Dryden, second-year head coach. Spent a lot of years as an assistant at places like Lake County and Stone Memorial. Going to leave the offense out here. 4th and 10. Marshall County got a big stop earlier. Can they get another one here? Tossed into flat. Shy of the sticks anyway, but it's incomplete. Good job of flying to the football. Second pass breakup tonight for Jamal Gentry, the junior. And the Tigers will take over. Another quality defensive stand there for Marshall County.
Marshall County still showing out defensively. They're the epitome of bend but don't break, Wade. They've given up quite a lot more yardage than they've gained so far in this ball game, but not a single point on the board. Looks like we're going to take a real quick refreshment break. You might want to go ahead and listen and hear from the Tennessee Highway Safety Commission.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick timeout. Officials have called it. Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We are back right after this.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
We're back, folks. Alongside Scott Stewart, Wade Neely, glad to be with you. You are listening to Main Street Media Radio, and it's our Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Last Thursday, had a low-scoring affair. Laverne defeating West Creek 9-6. Next Thursday, entering this week at least, 1-0 Stratford will be traveling to 1-0 James Lawson. We'll see how those two matchups shake up tomorrow night, but we could be looking at 2-2-0 squads here.
Right.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Teaton is back. The southpaw dumps one in the flat. It is caught. And a nice grab in the slot out across the 40. Now breaking a tackle. Great effort there from Jaden Randolph, the senior. And Randolph did not catch a pass last week, but he catches the dump in the slot.
31 yards.
And rumbles 31 yards down the sideline.
And immediately Marshall County gets into Shelbyville territory at the 43-yard line.
Tigers lead 7-0. Cawthorn had a rushing touchdown after they were given a short field earlier. Now they're trying to take a longer method to the end zone here. From the 43, give to the left side. That is Perryman. Kamaric Perryman, the junior, picking up a couple there. Kind of a zone give toward the left. There's a Tiger offensive lineman that's slow to get up. And that is Wenzel. Wenzel actually left the game earlier after a defensive injury. Now he's back up. He's going to come out for one play, but he should return. 2nd and 9, just 1 yard gain there on Perryman on the outside. And they got a ton of movement here on 2nd and 9, most of it by the Tigers.
Just way too much of this, Wade. You're going to – this is what I was talking about earlier. We don't know, looking at the stats from the games last week where we were talking about those, you just don't know how much of this played into any of that. And right now we know Shelbyville has cost themselves really a touchdown at least with their penalties. And now Marshall County's put themselves in a hole.
Here coaches talk a lot about the biggest jump is from week 1 to week 2. Right now, both teams struggling a little bit here. But Marshall County bringing a man in the backfield. Now they're going to throw deep, wide open down the seam. It is caught. It is caught. And Kel Hightower That's a name that should ring some bells here in Lewisburg. And the sophomore catches it in stride, virtually untouched down the sideline, making the grab and scampering free into the end zone. What a ball. What a catch.
They were stacking the box. They've been stacking the box trying to shut the run down, and there was single coverage out there. And Hightower just put a move on him, and there was never any doubt. The defender wasn't within 15 yards of him when he caught that ball.
Cousin of the former Marshall County Tiger, Alabama, and NFL standout, Dante Hightower, making it look easy on that catch was the sophomore. And Teat delivered it right to him. Joyce is on for the extra point. The extra point is up, and it is good. And Marshall County, after a fourth down stop, takes over and drives to pay dirt. Your new score, it's Tigers 14, Golden Eagles 0. Scott and I will be back in 1 minute right here on the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. 48 yards on a silver platter. Silas Teat finding sophomore Kel Hightower for that touchdown. Marshall County, Scott Stewart. Shaky start maybe, but they're up 14-0, and this place is rocking now here in Lewisburg at the Preston Hopkins Field.
Yeah, you could just see Shelbyville packing it up. And as soon as that safety got far enough up, it was all on like Donkey Kong. And you gotta love the pass from T too, by the way. I mean, on a dime, and there wasn't a lot of air under that. That was a rope, baby.
Caught Hightower running perfectly in stride. Didn't even have to break his stride. Rumbling into the end zone. And now, how does Shelbyville respond? Again, DeLauder, 4 straight incompletions a moment ago. They respond by going right up the middle, and here's a huge give. The ball comes loose. Third time the ball has hit the deck tonight for Shelbyville. They do recover it. That's Ray Carey and Chandler, the junior, running with a full head of steam, and he just lost the football at the end of the play, but a first down nonetheless for the Golden Eagles.
Out at the 41-yard line, it's a 21-yard gain. What we're going to see at halftime is Shelbyville's going to have a whole lot more yardage, but that doesn't matter. It's what's on the scoreboard.
The Golden Eagles have been their own worst enemy. Had a turnover, had a fourth down incompletion a moment ago. Here's another pass right down the seam, and that is caught. What a grab in a lot of traffic for William Bobo, who is still on his feet. Bobo down to around the Marshall County 31-yard line. DeLauder just unloading and finding yards. Bobo right down the pipe for a big first down.
Now they are back down to the 30-yard line of Marshall County. This is where Shelbyville's really been their worst enemy, Wade. Can they do something with the ball now? Can they get it from the 30 down into the end zone and cut into this lead?
6:20 to go. Marshall up 14-0. Here's a give to Bailey. This is a big kid, the sophomore, Robert Bailey.
By the way, just for curiosity's sake, 3 plays on that Marshall County drive, 74 yards, minute 36 off the clock.
Efficient with the football, you might say.
You could say that.
About a 4-yard pickup. Second and a long 6 here. As DeLauder looking to throw to his left. Now the pocket breaking down. He scrambles. He slides. And he is at around the 19. So he's going to be about a yard shy. Needed 6, and he got about a good 5 right there. Did the QB, Nathaniel DeLauder. And it's 3rd down. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you're loving the 3rd downs here at Marshall County. They got the Undertaker theme. Motion in the backfield. They do not call it, though. Bailey kind of shuffled the puppy, so to speak, a little bit there. But he does take the inside give, and he does pick up about 4 yards for the 1st down.
Going to set the ball down at the 17-yard line, Wade. That's actually a 6-yard pickup. Deepest penetration now again for Shelbyville.
4:56 to go. Marshall County leads 14-0. Shelbyville turned it over on their first drive tonight. Tigers had a field goal blocked. The teams traded punts. And then Marshall County used the short field thanks to a big return to get the scoring going. They added another, and it's now 14-0.
There you go.
Big tote for Bailey, who is running with conviction down the right side. And that is a touchdown-saving tackle for Kamani Ewing, the senior
Almost
DB.
A horse collar. I thought they were going to call a horse collar on that.
Probably could have.
So he's going to move it down inside the 10, Wade. That's a 17 down to 7. It's a 10-yard gain. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 7. Pretty much Shelbyville's had their way running the ball tonight. And
they really have.
Yeah.
Coach Dryden begging his offense to put some points on this drive here. This is a necessity. As DeLauder, great ball fake on the read option.
He's not going down.
And, yeah, he's still driving. He might have got close to the goal line. No, he's down just shy. It's going to be 2nd and goal here. Great run and a great fake for the QB, Nate DeLauder.
Yeah, so he was reading that one, and he saw it wide open. Then he was met at about the 3-yard line, and he basically physicaled his way all the way to the 1. So it's 2nd goal now.
$3:30 to go. Shelbyville using big chunk plays on this drive to their advantage. 2nd and goal from the 1. Give is to Bailey, and he's virtually untouched. The big fella rumbles into the end zone.
That was actually Crenshaw, wasn't it?
Yeah, correction. You're right. Radon Crenshaw, number 21.
Just like that, Wade. I mean, that's a quick answer, and that's what Shelbyville was going to have if they were going to stay in this ball game the way things were going.
Big answer there from Coach Judd Dryden and the Shelbyville Golden Eagles. We're an extra point away from making it 14-7. And Shelbyville's kind of lining up in a swinging gate situation here. Marshall County's a little confused. They're trying to sub on some personnel, and now we got a timeout called by Shelbyville. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout as well. We are back in 30 seconds. 14-6 is your score on the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Winning teams continually refine and add to their game plan. Just take a peek inside the Delta Dental Playbook. In addition to dental plans, Delta Dental now offers Delta Vision, a vision plan that you can add on to your dental plan for a little more than $8 a month. $8. The same math as a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Check them out at deltadentaltn.com. Delta Dental. They put the C in Tennessee.
We are back here at the Preston Hopkins Field awaiting a extra point attempt here. Shelbyville marching down the field. Big chunk plays. 21 yards on their opening play, 29 yards on their second. They just cruised.
8 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock, and with the extra point pending can be within 7.
That was a massive and much-needed reply there for the Shelbyville offense, who, as Scott has alluded to, they are, from a stat standpoint, are going to be dominating the offensive yardage here most likely, as it's a slightly bobbled snap, but it's recovered, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So after the timeout, they convert the PAT, and it is 14-7. 3:18 to go till halftime. Scott and I are back right after this. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Back in 1 minute.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Touchdown for the Shelbyville Golden Eagles, making this a 14-7 ball game. We're awaiting the kickoff here. 3:18 to go, quarter number 2, alongside Scott Stewart. Chris Bledsoe is here with us as our third man on site, and our producer, the great one himself, is Justin Kulik. I'm Wade Neely saying hello. Scott, we've got an entertaining first half here. Slow start for both of these teams offensively, but I feel like they're catching their stride right now.
Yeah, I mean, like we've already said it. Of course, we're not surprised. Shelbyville put up some big numbers and some impressive numbers there in their game last week. So there's no surprise by that. Of course, maybe a little bit more surprised by Marshall County, but not a lot. We talked about it to start off with. We know that they're an offensive-minded team. We know that their coach is an offensive guru or whatever you want to call him. Mr. Coach Osteen is a great offensive coach. We had a feeling that 16 was an outlier that they scored last week, and we knew they'd be wanting to do better. They've already got 14 tonight. We've already got 21 points tonight, and we only had 15 for the total last week.
Yeah, 9-6 last week. All of those coming in the fourth quarter. What a wild game last week. If you missed us, it was Laverne knocking off West Creek. Next Thursday night, we are at the brand new James Lawson. Stratford is coming to James Lawson, as this is a kick that does bounce at around the 12. It is picked up. And a nice move slipping free on the far sideline.
Oh, I thought the ball came out, but there is a flag down.
Could be a penalty coming in at the end of this play here. Good-looking return for the sophomore Kel Hightower, who had the touchdown a moment ago.
About 25 yards on that return.
Pretty good tote. Running hard in space.
Thought I saw a flag, but maybe that ball did come out.
Yeah, I saw something go airborne there, and I guess it might have been the beanbag.
Here we go.
No.
Face mask.
Wow.
Right at midfield, Wade.
And you got 3:09 to play. That is an eternity at midfield. And Marshall County is set to receive the second half kickoff.
Be interested to see if that touchdown pass backs Shelbyville off that out of that box a little bit. They're not creeping. Well, they're trying to still creeping
they
up.
are coming on up here. 1st and 10.
Safety's on.
From the 50. Yeah, they're backpedaling a little bit. Empty backfield. Teat gets rid of it.
Goodness.
He is clobbered, but he gets the pass off, and it's a touchdown. Right down the middle, Randolph. Wow. Teat stood in the pocket, took a massive hit, but he delivers a bullet right down the heart of the field. And a big-time catch for Jaden Randolph, scampering into the end zone for the 50-yard score.
That was a hit. They blitzed from the opposite side of where the ball went to. Somehow or another, the receiver cleared the secondary, and he was nobody within yards of him when he caught it. He was off to the races. They weren't going to catch him. I don't know what there was a blown coverage on that play, but I can assure you this: Teat did not see that touchdown. He was on his face, and he's feeling the effects of that hit right now. But usually whenever they end up in a touchdown, it's not nearly as bad.
not as painful when you see your guys celebrating, that's for sure. Joyce is on for the extra point, which is up, and it is good. So Marshall County strikes right back, and they score their third touchdown of the first half. It's Marshall County 21, Shelbyville 7. 3 minutes to go till halftime. Scott and I are back in 1 minute. You are listening to Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
The offenses are finally clicking now, folks. 21-7, your new score. And Marshall County responds from the Shelbyville touchdown in one play. Throwing a bullet. Silas Teat finding Jaden Randolph for the TD.
Took a total of 10 seconds, Wade, by the way, to run that play. One play, 50 yards, 10 seconds on the drive. I guess, can you call that a drive?
I just said that 3 minutes is an eternity for.
We might have 21 more points scored before halftime.
3 minutes at midfield is an eternity for Marshall County, for most schools, let alone Marshall County.
You get the feeling, though, this is Shelbyville's pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to kind of get the feeling that this is what they want to do.
They give Bailey running hard to his left. He's still on his feet.
Oh, my goodness.
And now they don't bring him down. He needs one block. He got it. He's out across the 40, the 50, the 40, 35, 30, and another block is whiffed, or another tackle is whiffed.
No flags.
And Robert Bailey goes 80 yards. I'm talking rumbling down the left sideline, shaking off two different would-be tacklers, and the sophomore has the Golden Eagles back within striking distance. 2:42 to go till halftime. It's 21-13.
80 yards. That man can run 80 yards in 18 seconds.
Wow.
Because that's exactly what it took.
A couple different Tigers had cracks to bring him down.
Yeah, they weren't wrapping up. Coaches are, we can hear the coaches. They're not happy about that. That man should have been brought down for about a 5-yard gain at the worst, and ended up rumbling for 80 yards and a touchdown. He's been real close to breaking a couple, and he got out there on the edge that time.
Snap is good. Hold is pretty good. The kick is good. So the team score on back-to-back plays, and it's 21-14. Scott and I are back in 1 minute. You're listening to Main Street Media Radio, Thursday night game of the week coverage, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Back in 60 seconds.
Winning teams continually refine and add to their game plan. Just take a peek inside the Delta Dental Playbook. In addition to dental plans, Delta Dental now offers Delta Vision, a vision plan that you can add on to your dental plan for a little more than $8 a month. $8. The same math as a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Check them out at deltadentaltn.com. Delta Dental. They put the C in Tennessee.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
We tried to tell you guys this was going to be a good ball game tonight.
Yes, we did. Well, we know we answered a couple of questions, Wade. We know, first of all, that Marshall County's offense is better than the 16 points they put up last week. And we also know that Shelbyville's 40 whatever, it was not a fluke. These two teams have managed 35 points in the last 8 minutes of game time, something to that effect.
Shelbyville's offense running the ball so well is really kind of scary. They haven't really passed the ball that well just yet.
And if they have a couple times, and they've been able to do it, and the running game's only making that better.
1st and 10 from the 20. Marshall County with the ball, 2:42 to go till halftime. They still got all 3 timeouts. This is shaping up to be a crazy finish to the half here. Shelbyville played their game last Thursday. Marshall played last Friday. Marshall County's was a very low-scoring affair, as Scott has mentioned. Shelbyville in a shootout versus Siegel.
See what they do here on defense. They still got those linebackers. That's the reason why that touchdown they scored. Those linebackers are tucked in there within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage the whole night.
Tigers go under center. Teat is back in the game after he absorbed a vicious hit earlier on the touchdown. And on 1st and 10, they give it right up to middle.
I'm pretty sure that as long as Shelbyville is willing to stack their linebackers within 2 yards of that line of scrimmage, we're going to see more of what we've seen the last 2 touchdowns from Marshall County, right? I mean,
yep,
it only makes sense.
And I think what we're seeing right now is Marshall County, they may know they could score on one play, but they kind of just want to slow this game down a little bit, let everybody catch their breath. They're back under center again. Let's see if they run the ball here, 2nd and 6. No, they're going to play fake. Pass toward the near side slot. Great catch right there. Nice little drag route for the tight end, Marquise Davis. And Davis picks up an 11-yard gain for the 1st down.
1st and 10 out at the 35. And that's pitch and catch, baby. That's all night long. If you're going to single, they're going to put their guys in single coverage and leave the middle of the field wide open. That time he juked him inside and came back out, and he's, like I said, pitch and catch.
That was too easy. Now they jump right back into the shotgun. Just over 90 seconds to go, still here in quarter number 2. High snap, Teat brings it down. He's going to call his own number. Looked like it might have been a designed keeper. And Teat gets across the original line of scrimmage here, and he might have gained a half yard depending on where they spot this thing.
We'll give him one.
Yeah, they are going to say he got a generous yard, really more about a half yard there.
Took it down to about 1:10 left here in the first half, Wade. And, yeah, the safeties are now they're coming back out there.
Teat's going to roll toward the sideline, Marshall County sideline. He hauls it in or tosses it over to Jaden Randolph, who had the touchdown a moment ago. He makes the grab, tackled inbounds, and tackled shy of the stick. So the clock is running. Again, Marshall County still got all 3 timeouts after that 8-yard pickup.
It's 3rd down now and 2 at the 43, right?
Yep.
Maybe 7.
Big 3rd down here. Tigers, stretch play. Cawthorn's got to run a long way to try and turn the corner. He does. He dives.
They're not going to mark him.
Yeah, he's just shy. Now what do? You got 20 seconds to go. You got a great field goal kicker. Kind of surprised the Tigers are not going to call a timeout here and maybe consider going for this.
Looks like we may be heading to halftime.
I'm somewhat shocked by this, as indeed that does take us to halftime. Marshall County was just shy of midfield, but we have hit the break, folks. It is all the offense you can ever handle here in the second quarter as Marshall County and Shelbyville trade quick scores. But at the break, it's the hometown Tigers leading this contest, Scott Stewart, 21-14. What a half here in Lewisburg tonight.
Oh, yeah, just great football so far. Maybe not as much defensively, and Shelbyville, they kind of hurt themselves in the first quarter, but both teams have gotten their rhythm offensively. Shelbyville's going to go back, and I got to be looking at some tape and say we cannot let these wide receivers leave our people out there wide one-on-one with them. And Marshall County needs to figure out how to do two things. Number one, get somebody on these running backs before they get ahead of steam. And number two, when you get your hands on them, bring them down. That's really the two things that both teams are probably going to be working on.
And you wonder if fatigue was not a real issue in the second quarter. We saw extra hydration breaks, but man, the tackling and the coverage for Shelbyville and the tackling for Marshall County were not there. And when you have explosive playmakers like these two teams have, you have to execute very well. You're going to be looking at long touchdowns just like we saw.
Exactly right. And yeah, you got to get in, get them hydrated, talk to them a little bit about it. Coaches are going to have to look and see what it is they didn't do. Now, for Marshall County side, all you got to do, you tell you guys wrap them up. You wrap them up, the score is probably or possibly not 21-14. It's still 21-7. Of course, Shelbyville could have scored on another play later on, but that play should not have ended up in an 80-yard touchdown when you got five guys hitting him and nobody brings him down.
Wild times here. Scott and I are going to take a timeout. We're going to step aside for a 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll break down what we saw here in the first half. We'll also talk about other games in our coverage area across the Main Street universe this week. But all that still to come as we reach halftime here. It is 21-14. The hometown Marshall County Tigers lead the Shelbyville Golden Eagles. And you are listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Dixon Tater Shack. We take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service, call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50+ different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Cry-Like Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Halftime here at the Preston Hopkins Field. This has been a wild one, folks. 21-14 is your score. Marshall County leading Shelbyville. This game was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Marshall County's led every step of the way tonight, but Shelbyville exploding for 14 points, and the Tigers erupting for 14 themselves in the second quarter. And as part of our Main Street Preps Thursday night Game of the Week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, it is halftime. I'm Wade Neely. We are joined now by the third member of our team. First time with us this season. He is our good friend. He is Mr. Chris Bledsoe. And Chris, you've been kind of in and around, all around Preston Hopkins Field tonight, taking notes on this game. What were your thoughts on a wild first half between these two teams?
Well, first and foremost, both teams clearly struggling with the temperature in this place tonight. You've seen it from both sides. It's a hot, super hot, muggy night here. And obviously, it started at a 7 o'clock kickoff. It's been warm the whole time, and you're having to make some adjustments. You've seen some of the referee timeouts that they've had to do, getting some water breaks in. But even with that right there, this type of temperature it's hard to play in. They're playing really, really fast at a high level, and it makes it difficult with this type of heat and this type of temperature. But both teams have seemed to handled it fairly well here thus far. We've got a really, really close ball game. Marshall's looked well offensively pretty much throughout this ball game, and Sheppel has looked pretty good in certain spots as well.
Yeah, and we've seen two different approaches. We saw Marshall County striking with two big pass plays, but we saw Shelbyville really bruising the Tigers up on the ground. I guess your take on that, because we saw such contrast. We saw Teat delivering some great passes for Marshall County, but we've seen Bailey and Crenshaw delivering some vicious hits running the football for Shelbyville.
Yeah, it's been two different styles to play tonight, Wade, and I think both teams are kind of settling into who they are and what they like to do. Coach Osteen is no secret, likes to air it around, especially when he's got a quarterback that's got a big-time arm. He's got guys that can go out there and make plays, and that's what we've seen here tonight. He's just been moving it around, and Marshall County tonight is actually – without their top receiver, number 2, A.J. Jones, who leads this team in receiving and led some of last season as well. A top 100 wide receiver, has not played thus far in the first half. He is dressed out tonight, but he hasn't been on the field offensively. Played a little special team tonight, but again, they're still moving around really well in the air. Teat has done a good job of finding guys. Randolph has done a tremendous job here tonight. Son of Coach Gerard Randolph, who's coaching here at Marshall now, former Cornersville head coach. He's done a good job tonight, just being in the right place, right time, making plays, being open for his quarterback. But I think the more impressive thing tonight is what we've seen from the Hog Mollies up front from Sheppel. They have absolutely dominated from the point of attack. From the time they walked on the field up until this point now, they've just dominated. Each play, their offensive line is getting to the second level. They're doing a lot of what they call duo blocking, where you're getting two hands or two hats on one man on the offensive line, allowing that guard to get up to the second level. He's kicking out one linebacker, and then those running backs are just doing a great job at that second level, making guys miss and then just flat out running over guys. You know me, that's my type of football. I love the physicality. Yep. And that's been the difference between these two teams. Marshall likes to throw it around, more of a finesse ball club, and Sheppel is kind of, this is all we've got. It is what it is. You can stop it or you can't. And so far, Lewisburg has struggled here being able to stop that run game.
Yeah, it has been fun to watch the differences in the two teams offensively. I guess a little bit of a softball question here. What can you do now if it seems Scott kind of touched on it in the second quarter? If you're Marshall County, you got to feel pretty good because you've just missed some open field tackles. And presumably if you make those tackles, that's an adjustment that can be done rather quickly. But if you're Shelbyville, what are you trying to draw up schematically on defense to slow down Marshall County, especially passing the football?
Well, if you're Shelbyville, you're going to have to look at dropping more guys back in coverage and really depending on your front four to get pressure and try to get Teat off his spot a little bit. You've shown tonight that you can get to him. Even the play that Randolph scored on the most recent touchdown, Teat took a tremendous lick in the backfield. They go on all-out blitz. You leave the middle wide open, and when you're going to send it all, you've got to get home. And unfortunately, Sheppel didn't get home on that play. Randolph ended up going to the end zone for a touchdown. But, again, if you're going to blitz like that, you've got to get home. And if not, you've got to drop back in coverage. Really depend on that front four to try to get home and get him off his spot because you look at the stats tonight, Marshall County hadn't done a whole lot on the run game. You've done a decent job so far controlling it. You just got to figure out a way to help those secondary, and that's by either sending 5 DBs out there and just going with three linebackers and 3 down linemen, or however you want to approach it. But you got to get them some help out there, or dropping those linebackers back in coverage, looking at zoning it up, and then, like I said, just trying to get home and create some pressure with your front four up front. Because right now they're just killing you in there. You've handled yourself well on the ground, but you got to figure out a way to slow down on this passing attack.
Chris Bledsoe joining us here at halftime. The Marshall County Tigers leading Shelbyville 21-14. Chris and I are the voice of Giles County. You can catch us tomorrow night. Pulaski Citizen Live will be on the road as the Bobcats take on Hardin County. Chris, a lot of big matchups across the state of Tennessee, and it's something that Scott and I talked about in the first half too. You hear coaches talk a lot about, you find so much about your team, maybe not from the first game, but from the practice week, from week 1 and now the game into week 2. And we're certainly kind of seeing it tonight. The offenses are coming alive. Marshall County already well over the production they had last week offensively.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I'm curious, overall, it is going to be a scorcher tomorrow night. A lot of games are delayed across the state. But how big of a leap do you anticipate some of the teams making in that 1 week, especially with the heat at play?
I think that everybody that's playing tomorrow night, that's your goal, is to be a little better than you were last Friday or last Thursday, whenever you played. May not be as a big of a leap as you would like for it to be, or maybe some of the fans want to see, but you want to just be a little bit better than you were the day before. And again, we talked about it just a moment ago. The biggest thing when it comes to playing in these type of conditions is the fact you've got to start. They should have started hydrating Wednesday night, last night. You've got to hydrate all day today, all day tomorrow, and then hopefully you're ready to go out there on Friday night and play in those type of conditions. It's rough. But the thing is, everybody has to play in it. You're not getting mistreated by any means. If you're playing football in the southern states of America right now, you're probably playing in conditions that are what seem to be unbearable, if you will. So everybody's playing in the same conditions, just about who's got the mental fortitude to go out there and make plays and to make it happen. I'll be real curious looking at the Bobcats coming into tomorrow night, if we see some of those leaps that we would like to see, or if maybe there's a little hangover from last week's tough blow. I want to see the mental fortitude of that program and see what they're able to do. If you can put away what happened to you last week, losing a nail biter to the runner-up 5A Page Patriots in a nail biter of a ball game. Are you able to look past that, show up tomorrow night, and take care of business with Hardin County? Because Hardin County is a good football team. You're going into their place, and they're looking to win a football game.
That is just one of the games in our coverage area tomorrow night. Some other big games on the docket. Pearl Combe will travel to CPA. Brentwood Academy will visit Brentwood. That's always a slobber knocker. Springfield travels to Clarksville. Friendship Christian goes to DCA. MBA and Innsworth. That is going to be a really good contest, I think, tomorrow night. You just mentioned the Page Patriots, fresh off a win versus Giles County. They travel to Independence, a game that'll be played south of us here in Lewisburg, down in Giles County. Cascade will travel to Richland. After Richland nearly knocked off a 5A team as well last week, they fall to Lincoln County by 1 point at the end there. Gallatin goes to Station Camp. Blackman travels to Stewart's Creek. Lebanon visits Upperman, a team that had a nice win last Friday night versus a very talented Fayetteville City bunch. So there are a lot of big games across the state. And that's why we kind of wanted to bring you in the mix, partner, because we know if there's a big game, you're going to find it. We hate that we didn't get to link up last week, but we look forward to being with us the rest of the way. And with all due respect to Laverne and West Creek, I know you'd been fired up, but it was 9-6, and all the points were scored going into the fourth quarter. So it's not really a surprise that you showed up when the offenses were showing out here tonight, partner.
Yeah, probably not what some of the defensive coordinators wanted to hear, but it's good to see teams be able to put points on the board and play that exciting brand of football. Everybody likes to see that. You named off several ball games that are going to take place tomorrow night, but if you're going to be in that Franklin area, I'm telling you, whether they're playing at Brentwood Academy or they're playing at Brentwood High School, that ball game between those two clubs is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a jam-packed place. Everybody's going to come out. You've got your city school, quote unquote, against the private school. All of the matchups, everything you can want is going to be loaded into that ball game. Two teams, two schools, and two programs that absolutely can't stand each other. So it's going to be fun to watch. Check that one out also. And then the NBA ball game is going to be fun as well. Two very talented programs that are constantly putting out Division I, Division II, and Division III type athletes. So that's going to be a fun one to watch as well. And then I'm always pulling for the home team. If you don't have anything to do, Hardin County is going to be a fun place to be tomorrow night as the Bobcats roll into town to take on a very talented Hardin County ball club.
It will be a fun one, partner. You and I will link forces tomorrow. Chris Bledsoe, thank you for joining us here at halftime.
Pleasure as always. We'll catch you soon.
Chris Bledsoe, third man here with us on site, breaking things down at halftime. As your score at the break, it is Marshall County leading Shelbyville 21-14. When we come back, Scott will rejoin us here, and we'll get you prepped for the second half. Wade Neely sitting in the saddle here, and we kick it out through a 3-minute timeout. I want to remind you that you're listening to Main Street Media Radio, and you're listening to Main Street Preps Thursday night Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We're back in 3 minutes.
At Dixon Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint. We're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service, call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Welcome to the GR Group at Crye-Leike Realtors. Our team is comprised of seasoned veterans, military spouses, and other real estate professionals with strong ties to the military community. We specialize in helping our clients buy and sell homes, as well as providing comprehensive services for commercial and land properties. Whether you're relocating to the area, interested in buying or selling a home, or looking for commercial or land properties, the GR Group has the expertise and resources to help you achieve your real estate goals. Contact the GR Group today.
Top coverage rolling right along here. Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Rejoined now by Scott Stewart. And Scott, I hope you used your time away to catch your breath, because that second quarter was played at a lightning pace. Only 7 points in the first quarter, but now we sit here with 35 between our two teams. It's 21-14. Marshall County leads at halftime.
Yep, I got some numbers, rough numbers. So don't hold me to any of these, just some of the highlights. At first we thought that Shelbyville was going to come out and really dominate the yardage totals, but those late touchdown passes for Marshall County really tighten that up. 158 total for Marshall County, 154 total for Shelbyville. That's what I've got. You could give or take either way, but it's still pretty close. For Marshall County, the young man that carried the ball, Cawthorn, I had him at 5 for 17 with a touchdown. I had Teed at 5 of 6 for 148 and 2 touchdowns. One of those two, Randolph, and the other two, Hightower. And then on Shelbyville's side, of course, Chris said it, number 31. That young man's not going to go ahead and throw his name out there, because Mr. Robert Bailey, I got him at 6 for 134. Touchdown. I got him and also number 21 scored a touchdown, but I only had him with really one carry, I think. So and then the quarterback was 3 of 10 for 20 yards and a touchdown. So no, there wasn't a touchdown. He didn't throw a touchdown. That's my bad. So 2 rushing touchdowns for Shelbyville and a passing touchdown, 2 passing touchdowns for Marshall County on top of that rushing touchdown.
And Chris made a great point a moment ago, and you're kind of in the same vein. He loves when the offensive line really kind of gets flowing downhill, and Shelbyville's offensive line has been led by senior Logan McBee. And I was talking with some of the coaching staff. Really, they got an eclectic coaching staff. But I was talking to one of their coordinators, Ron Shirey, who's a good friend of ours. And he said, look, they got all these skill players, but the best player on their team wears number 53, Logan Bracken McBee, the senior, and he's they really are just running off the guard and the tackles and just clobbering Marshall County at the line of scrimmage. And right now, that's how they've got all their points is via the rushing attack.
Yeah, and I called it early on, even when they were making those mistakes, Wade, and costing themselves the opportunities. And it really cost themselves a touchdown when they ended up putting themselves in bad field position. Marshall County ended up inside the 10-yard line. And that was, all of that was because of Shelby's mistakes, because they were moving the ball pretty much at will up and down the field and going up the middle. And when your when your middle's soft like that, it really sets other things up. We saw a pretty good pass play down the middle down here from DeLauder, and I think we know that they've got that in them. He threw 2 touchdowns last week and had 100 and something yards passing at least, I think. We've seen that they can run the ball, and I think we're going to probably see them try to put it up a little bit this time around. We're everything could change, and we could end up with a knockdown, drag-out rushing game here in this second half. But, we're on tap for 40s for both these teams.
And I tell you what, Shelbyville, however this game plays out, we're going to take our final break here in just a second. They're in that Region 5, 5A, with Columbia, Spring Hill, Franklin County, Lawrence County, Lincoln County, and Tullahoma. But specifically, their first region game is in a couple weeks versus Columbia, who looks like they suddenly have a little new mojo with first-year head coach Tredarius Goff. So that is going to be a mammoth showdown in just a couple of weeks on September 8th when those two teams get it on.
Yeah, and I've seen nothing that makes me think Shelbyville can't play with each and every one of those teams.
Yep.
And Columbia, we don't know what they're going to do tomorrow night. They have yet to score points in this season. So we need to find out what that offense is going to look like a little bit more. I think we can see that Marshall County does have will give up some points if you got the right kind of offense.
Well said, my friend. We are going to take our final timeout. We're back in 30 seconds with the second half kickoff. Marshall County is set to receive. When Scott and I return, you're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Back in 30 seconds.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Back with you guys here. Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week high school football coverage, brought to you all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you that fans don't let fans drive drunk. Marshall County is set to receive the second half kickoff. And, Scott, there was a moment midway through the second quarter when Marshall County really was taking control of this game.
14-0, yeah.
You're sitting there thinking they were up 2 scores, and you're thinking now they're going to get the ball to start the second half. But suddenly, just up 7, this is a massive drive to potentially start the third quarter here.
Well, if we're going to punch, you counterpunch the rest of the night. You get up 2 scores, that's where you want to be. So you take this ball in, you can control the second half from here if you take this ball in and score. If Shelbyville doesn't make some adjustments on the way they're lining up defensively, they're going to have a hard time stopping anybody. Me and you could go out there and throw and catch some of this stuff. And that's
a stretch, partner.
That's a stretch, I agree.
Because I'm not looking to run, especially in this heat.
No. Not unless somebody's after me.
And again, real quick, a lot of our kickoffs in our coverage area have been pushed back. Locally for us, we know that Giles County and Richland are both set for 7:30 kickoffs. And a quick tip of the cap to our good friend, head coach Jonathan Snyder, the Ardmore Tigers.
Yep.
Down there in Alabama, they kick off in the very south end of Giles County. They kick off.
It's hotter in Alabama than
it is.
It's only 20 minutes, but it's still hotter in Alabama.
They got to bump it all the way back to 8. We're ready for the second half here. It will be fielded by the Tigers. Cawthorn taking it in at around the 9 and eluding one tackle at around the 16. And he's up to around the 23 or so. Good little return. And here comes the Marshall County offense. Scott mentioned the 2 touchdowns for the quarterback, Silas Teat. And he took a vicious lick on one of those touchdowns. Good to see him back up and moving. Didn't even miss a play. He took a wicked shot.
No, he did not miss a play, and I'm here to tell you, he didn't see that touchdown either. he was on his face.
They officially mark it at the 24. Second half of your Thursday night game of the week, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, is underway. Cawthorn's in the backfield here. Lone back. Now they send an H-back in motion. That's Davis, the tight end. They play fake it to Cawthorn. They're going to throw deep on first down.
Got him again.
And they have Jones, who did not play most of the first half. Definitely didn't play offense in the first half, and he nearly brought that pass in. It's an incompletion, but that ball would have been caught well beyond midfield.
Good play by the safety, number 8, LeBron Ransom back there. He stayed step for step with Jones, and he knocked that ball away. And hey, how about Teat? He dropped it on a dime there. That ball was a well-thrown ball.
Teat has got some great touch. 2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. 21-14 your score. Tigers have led since late in the first quarter. Pass toward the near sideline, intended for Jones yet again, and it's air-mailed. That is not a great pass from Teat. He kind of smacks his helmet there. He knows that one just got away from him.
Well, he looked up, a man came free on the rush, and he rushed it. That was exactly what happened. He had a man in his face before he could ever really even pull the ball in good. And, he's wishing he had that one back because he had a blocker in front of Jones. Jones could have probably been gone if he could have just hauled that in.
So the Tigers, if you thought they were going to kind of rest on their laurels here to start the second half, think again. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Uh-oh.
It was 3rd and 10. There's a penalty on somebody here.
Andy Chun would say somebody cheated every time a flag came out. It's going to be offside.
Yep, offside against the Golden Eagles here. 3rd and 5 from the 29 now. So much more manageable 3rd down. Kind of opens up the playbook a touch more here. Let's see how aggressive the Tigers get. They got Randolph in the slot. They got Jones split wide. I think that's Hightower on the far sideline. They're going to roll toward Teat's strong side. He dumps one, and it is caught by Randolph. And Jaden Randolph makes the grab, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. They made it look easy there on 3rd and 5, picking up the first.
It's like about 15 yards down to the 44.
Good snag there for Randolph. Son of Gerard Randolph, that great coach, now an assistant here with the Tigers. Longtime successful coach at Cornersville. Teat's going to call his own number on the read option here. He's shoved out of bounds. Good play there by Rakirian Chandler. Chandler pushes him down, and Teat maybe got a yard there before he goes crashing out of bounds.
Yeah, I need to get this right. Hang on a second. He's now out. They got it out to the 45-yard line. Will be 2nd and 9. Every once in a while he's got to keep that ball just to keep the defense honest, and that was the read. It just he couldn't outrace the defender to the sideline.
4 receivers, 3 to the right of Teat. 1 on the near side is Jones. They're looking for Jones. Second option leaking out of the backfield is Cawthorn, and it's incomplete. Cawthorn spinning around. It wasn't a great ball, but he did a pretty good job of getting his hands to it, but couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
Yeah, Teat on the run, by the way, he is a lefty in case we haven't said that already. He's throwing left-handed. He's running to his left, and almost another force where he rushed it a little bit because he had this man. He had him just as wide open as he could be down here, and he just missed him.
Looked like Teat was a touch surprised how open Cawthorn was.
You're right.
The read was to Jones on the deep post. And now we have a timeout.
Jones is coming out.
And we got a equipment issue.
His equipment's up above his knees, apparently.
His knee pads weren't on his knees, apparently. And so Jones is frustrated. He's going to come out. Tight end will come in. Anthony Smith, the junior. Extra blocker, perhaps. 3rd and 9. Teet's going to roll to his weak side. He's scrambling. Now he's going to have to tuck, and he is slammed to the turf. Good sack there, really a coverage sack. Broden Lovorn, the junior, was in on the tackle. And it's a 4th down. Good stop here by Shelbyville on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter. 10:33 remaining in this 21-14 ball game.
Yeah, it just they good coverage by the secondary. Stretched him out. He tried to run it up that right side to the far side of the wide side of the field, and just nothing doing. Teet's not going to beat you with his feet. Doesn't look like. Maybe he can, but not what we've seen so far.
So Wyatt Joyce is back deep. It is a very high snap, but he does haul it in, and he delivers a monster kick.
Good night, living.
From the 34, around the 30-yard line. It's going to be down at the 4, I should say.
That was a
woof
missile that came off that young man.
And that's with a high snap, by the way. It was a very athletic play just to bring it down.
So that's 20, 45, 65 yards, it went about 55 in the air.
And if you're Shelbyville,
of course, they're going to, I think it touched a Marshall County player about the 13.
Tough break there for the Tigers, but a little bit of a break there for Shelbyville. 1st and 10 at the 13. Play fake, and now they give it. And a good stop by the Tigers defensively. Up front, coming in, helping stuff the tackle is senior Braxton Roberts. And a good stop. Maybe got a yard or two officially, they say now. So Shelbyville's defense stands tall through the pass. And now Marshall County, at least on 1st down, their defense standing tall on the run.
Yeah, a lot of adjustments made, I'm sure, there in halftime, as we talked about. That time the defense made him cut back.
2nd and 8.
Again,
here's a give. Yep,
right
up the middle, and yet another stuff right up the middle. Good stop there.
Well, what they're doing different is they're not giving him before he would whatever lane he was running into would just be massively wide open. And Marshall County's clogging up those lanes a little bit up front, making him cut back, and he's not getting as much steam.
Quickly, it's going to be 3rd and 6. That was the freshman on the tackle, by the way, Mylan Morris. He's listed at 5'11", 292. Just shy of 3 bills. 8.5 to go. This is a big 3rd down here. Shelbyville. DeLauder, the quarterback, orchestrating and now giving. Nice give, and still running and breaking free. Out into the next level is Raycron Chandler, and Chandler is going to go. Chandler's going to go 83 yards, virtually untouched on the give. 2 runs up the middle, but on 3rd down, they burned the Tigers on the edge. We're an extra point away from a tie ball game.
Yeah, they had been running the power guy up the middle, and they were able to spring this young man around the edge, and nobody ever really laid a hand on him. He was gone. Now, Cawthorn, I believe, is down, unless that may be Perryman. Far side of the fifth is Cawthorn.
What a run and what an answer. Shelbyville standing tall on defense to begin the 3rd, and now answering with another long play, and Cawthorn is walking off under his own power. Head coach Thomas Osteen is out to check on his playmaker there. And we're an extra point away from a tie ball game. It's 21-20. Marshall County still leading with 8:05 to go here in the 3rd.
So after Marshall County takes the ball, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, have to punt. They do get the ball out to midfield. They pin them back at the 13-yard line. A couple of really good plays where they stopped them up in the middle for just a couple of yards. And then number 11 here, you called his name, Chandler, just raced around the corner. And at that point, only one man had a chance, and he couldn't catch him.
This has been a wild start to the third here as Marshall County, several incompletions, but then it looked like they were starting to pick it up offensively. Had to punt, got a great punt. But Shelbyville exploding for another long touchdown. And the extra point after they swing the gate after the injury is on its way, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we are knotted for the first time since we kicked it off tonight, and it's 21-21. Scott and I'll be back right after this. We're back in 1 minute. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage, sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
If you wanted a close ball game, you came to the right place. Welcome back in. You're listening to the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. He's Scott Stewart. I'm Wade Neely. And Scott, we got ourselves a ball game, partner. It's 21-all with 8:05 to go after Shelbyville gets a punt and then promptly scores 83 yards on the tote.
Yeah, we detailed it pretty well. Like I said, the Marshall County defense had to feel pretty good about themselves on the first two plays of that drive. Really, where they had been soft in the middle, were being had stiffened up, and it looked like they may have oversold up the middle. And around the corner, that young man went, Mr. Randolph or Chandler, excuse me, for 77 yards and the tying score.
21-21 here. And this is kind of unfamiliar territory for Marshall County after they blanked Columbia last week. Shelbyville, meanwhile, again, they lost a absolute shootout, 55-43 to Siegel. You said it on one of the very first drives of the game, by the way, partner. I don't like to give you too much credit, but you called it early. You said, I know Marshall County is scoring at will, but the pace of the game is kind of favoring Shelbyville right now.
Yeah, right after that was when that 80-yard he busted at least for that 80-yard run. You're right. I know. I'd forgotten about that. And it still, the pace of this game does favor Shelbyville. It seems to. We'll see.
Deep kickoff. Jones is going to field it at the goal line. It bounces into the end zone and touchback. If you're Marshall County, you've enjoyed the nice, quick, easy drives.
Yeah.
But maybe you're kind of thinking it'd be nice to go on about another 10, 12 play drive and just chew up a lot of clock here and cap it with the TD.
Yeah, so because for all the scoring, Shelbyville's been the team that has methodically driven the ball down the field. Marshall County's hit a couple of quicks, and I think that they're going to be able to do more of that. The quarterback came out of the halftime just a little rushing a little bit. But I don't think there's any doubt that he's going to regroup.
Under center, Teat going to deliver a deep handoff and a nice carry, still on his feet, spinning.
Perryman.
And a good carry, you're right, for Kamaric Perryman, the junior. Marshall County going to the run game here. Nice tote on the 1st and 10.
And they're going to do a little, maybe get this game back in their pace by running a little bit of faster pace here.
Teat staying under center. Perryman remaining as the deep back. Just two wideouts out, a couple of tight ends. A little bit of a bobble on the handoff, but Perryman's got it. And he is stood up. Maddox Wright, the junior, stands him up for the final bit of business there, but it is a first down for Marshall County. They needed 3, and they got a little bit more than that.
5 yards on that carry, right up the middle now. Now, Marshall County's taking a little bit out of Shelbyville's book. They're running right off the tackle, right off the guard there, and just pounding it right up the middle with a not as much of a pounding back, but a faster back. But, hey, they've been able to tick off 12 yards just like that. And all that's going to do is bring those safeties are up tight. Look how tight they are. Of course, they don't.
10 men in the box, basically, and now they're going to play fake, looking for a wheel route, and Teat, realizing that the route was not there, he somehow gets out of pressure and gets a yard or two.
He had to pull it down. He had the wheel route. It broke free down the sideline, from what I could tell, and he had to pull it down, though. He wasn't able to throw it. 3 yards, still picked up 3 yards on the play, which you got to love that.
Yeah, basically was looking at a sack right there. Was able to make a little chicken salad, as we like to say. Now they go back into the gun. That was a good tackle, by the way, from the junior Cohen Abernathy. And now Marshall County bleeding the play clock here, down to 5. 21-21 your score. Teat calling for it. The southpaw quarterback dropping, looking to his far side. This time he is going down. Couple of young men on the play. That's Broden Lovorn, who had a good tackle earlier tonight. He makes a vicious sack, just dropping Teat on his rear end back well behind the line of scrimmage. 9-yard loss. Wow.
3rd and 16 back to the 26. They overloaded that left side. And they just couldn't. More than they could block on that left side. And he rolled that way too, which made it even worse.
Rolled right into a sack, essentially. 21-21 your score. It's a big 3rd down. Empty backfield for the Tigers. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Teat looks over the middle. He finds Jones. First catch of the drive for Jones, who, again, did not play offensively in the first half.
Picked up a big chunk of it, about 10 of it.
And, Scott, you kind of go back also. We didn't even really bring it up at halftime, but Marshall County had all of its timeouts, 4th and inches at their own 40.
Yeah.
Do you wonder maybe with such a great field goal unit, do you maybe kind of wish you had that sequence to do over again?
Well, now that it's tied up, you probably do, yeah. At the time, you were up by 7, so and you were getting the ball too, by the way, at that point.
Punting unit out. Joyce puts another boomer up in the air, and that takes a little bit of a sideways roll and trickles out of bounds around the Shelbyville 30, 31-yard line or so, and now the Golden Eagles will have a chance to potentially take their first lead of the night. It is 21 up with 4:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter at the Preston Hopkins Field in Lewisburg.
So now if you're Marshall County, you got to think, okay, what do we now, because we were talking about at the beginning of the second half, if you're going to punch, counterpunch, that Marshall County could have scored, they could have got a two-score lead, but now they're tied. Now they're in a battle, and they got to figure out how they could stop Shelbyville.
DeLauder still got 5 on the play clock here. Slow to the line, down to 2. They clap for it at 1, and a give up the middle. Looking to go with Bailey. There's 4 players for the Tigers there. Brandon Tucker, one of the seniors, is in on the tackle. Perryman's in on the tackle.
Picked up a couple. They've held him to 6 yards so far here in the 3rd quarter after he had 134. Of course, 80 of those on one play in the first half.
2nd and 8.
He's a big bruising kid running that ball.
Shelbyville's had some great quarterback play over the years, but they've had some really good running backs as well. And they throw a slant pattern here. Maybe a little tug of the jersey, and the receiver for Shelbyville is pointing to his sleeve saying, hey, man, my jersey's kind of untucked here. I was yanked, but it's incomplete. Maybe got away with one there.
No flag, no foul.
I guess not, partner.
He rushed that anyway. It was low. It was going, and that may have been why there wasn't a call, because it was going to be difficult to make that catch either way.
Shelbyville bringing a new receiver out there. That's Palmer Edwards, the junior. They're thinking about throwing for it here on 3rd and 8. Trips to the left in this 21-21 game. 3rd down. They will not throw for it. They're going to run right up the middle.
We'll go for it.
Nice little fake. Yeah, they may be thinking about going for it. They're kind of close. It's going to be 4th and about 3. And let's see what the Golden Eagles do now.
It's a 5-yard gain, so it is going to be 4th and 3 at the 38.
And they don't just have one bruising back, by the way. Crenshaw is a load. He just carried the ball right there.
Look at those thighs, man. Good night.
He is a big kid.
Was that him that carried that ball, or was that wasn't Bailey?
Bailey was out for that play. That was Crenshaw. He's got his hands on his hips. He's already a little winded, but he's going to stay out here. 4th and 4. Shelbyville got a little bit of a jump, and DeLauder, the quarterback, is going to go and dive over the left out to the 46-yard line. He has enough for the 1st down. How about the play call there as Crenshaw converts? Looked like the right tackle just moved for Shelbyville.
You're exactly right. Well, we'll have to call it the other way this time. No flag, no foul, just like we did on that tug on the jersey a minute ago.
Ooh, and a big tackle here.
I'm going to go ahead and I gave him a hard time in the first half, but I'm going to give Marshall County credit that they've made the adjustments on the offensive line that where they're not getting gashed for 5-10 yards a rush up the middle. They've taken care of that. At least for the time being.
For now. 2:03 to go. We're in the 3rd quarter. Play fake. They'll throw a seam route. What a snag. Dropping to the turf to make the slant grab is Maddox Wright, the young man who had his jersey tugged earlier. And he has his jersey tugged again, but he made the catch and then falls to the turf. A big pickup there.
17 yards.
One of the better passes from DeLauder all night long. And now they're going to run a little run-pass option. First time we've seen this look tonight. It is complete out in the slot. And it's the Theo Washington, a senior. Shelbyville just throwing a little wrinkle in there casually late in the 3rd quarter. And they pick up about 7 yards on that pass play. Second and 3 now.
Just about a minute left here in the 3rd period. Marshall County on their heels trying to find a way to slow this Shelbyville offense down.
They give up the middle. Good stop. Looked like there might be an extra opportunity, but Alex Cruz, the junior, flying up from the secondary, making the stop there. That is a big-time drop, and it's going to be 3rd and 3 here. 40 seconds remaining. We're in the 3rd quarter. This game is tied at 21-21. Here come the bells, and here come the shakers. The crowd at Preston Hopkins is urging on the Tigers, and they jumped in the neutral zone. Alex Cruz, the junior, and that's going to be a fresh set of downs.
You know, we talked about the mistakes Shelbyville made in the first half and how that cost them. Now we've seen, you know, like I said, the quarterback seemed to may have come out a little tight, a little rushing. He missed a couple of really wide open passes. Now you get a couple of penalties that move the ball down inside to the 20. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We're going to be tied up 21-all.
21-21. We head to the 4th quarter. This has been a wild contest. Marshall County and Shelbyville are deadlocked, but the Golden Eagles are creeping closer toward the end zone. We'll have the 4th quarter when we come back in 1 minute. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage, brought to you all season long by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Can we interest you in a tie ball game heading to the fourth quarter? Because that's what we've got here. Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. He's Scott Stewart. I'm Wade Neely. Our producer is the great Justin Kulik. Scott, knot it up. Heading to the fourth quarter. The crowd is fired up here for both of these teams. It's been a whale of a ball game.
Yeah, and really just a really important series of plays coming up. Marshall County really needs to stop Shelbyville here, and I don't know that they can.
1st and 10. Shelbyville has it near the red zone here.
Ooh.
And a good stop there.
Careful.
Chandler up the middle. He is bottled up. As many as 3 players flying to the football, including Big Reed, Mitchell Reed, the junior, 6'2", 216. Stuffing Chandler, who's really ran roughshod at times tonight. Good stop. It'll be 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain, 2nd and 9 down to the 21. That's a good start for Marshall County. Now, look, be careful. Right here, you got to look for Shelbyville. They got 2 receivers stacked out there on that far side and one down here by himself. There's a perfect opportunity for them to go over top or across the middle.
On 2nd and 9,
Yep.
They give up the middle to
Oh,
Crenshaw,
goodness.
and whoa, baby. He was met about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, but he wasn't content with that. He just kept driving and driving and driving, taking a defender or 2 with him for a ride down to about the 3-yard
18
line.
yards on that carry. I mean,
Woof.
it was like, we don't need to throw the ball over the top. If you can hand it to that man and he could break 3 tackles, then that's going to be that's going to be tough to stop. Now, we do have a couple of players. We'd have a Marshall County player down.
11:08 to go. This has been a heck of a week 2 contest.
Marshall County has got Shelbyville's got 2 running backs that Marshall County defenders are really probably don't want to see coming again this late in this ball game.
Jamal Gentry, who's a junior and who's a really good basketball player for the Tigers, by the way.
Right.
He's shaking up on the play. He's a young man with some Giles County ties, but he is hobbling off the field here. Shelbyville's got it 1st and goal from the 3. They have never led in this contest.
I don't know why you wouldn't hand it to 21 right here.
1st and goal. Crenshaw is the deep back. They give him on the left, and he eludes a man right at the line of scrimmage, and he is into the end zone.
2nd score of the night for him.
2nd rushing touchdown for big Radon Crenshaw. Man, we're so used to seeing, and there's a late penalty marker that came in. We're so used to seeing Crenshaw just roughing people up at the line of scrimmage, but he's got a little
Yeah, he put a little move on that one, didn't he?
little moves about him, and he eluded a man at the point of contact and got in for the touchdown. It's unsportsmanlike against Shelbyville. That'll be assessed on the kickoff, which, especially in high school, that's
significant.
That is a significant penalty. You are exactly right.
That, my friend, was a long drive. You don't even realize it.
Spanned a quarter and a half, it felt like.
9, 10, 11 plays.
On for the extra point is Betzelberger. And he boots one up, and he boots it through. So Shelbyville takes its first lead of the night. Scott and I will step aside for a timeout. 11:01 to go. We're back in 60 seconds as the Golden Eagles are up 28-21. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Winning teams continually refine and add to their game plan. Just take a peek inside the Delta Dental playbook. In addition to dental plans, Delta Dental now offers Delta Vision, a vision plan that you can add on to your dental plan for a little more than $8 a month. $8. The same math as a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Check them out at deltadentaltn.com. Delta Dental. They put the C in Tennessee.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710, or visit them at moxieservices.com.
28-21. Shelbyville takes its first lead of the night. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. He's Scott Stewart. I'm Wade Neely. How do you like an 11-play drive, nearly 70 yards, and almost 6 minutes off the clock, Scott Stewart?
And two unanswered scores for Shelbyville, and all of a sudden Marshall County finds himself in a spot they haven't been in this year yet, behind. And we're in the fourth quarter, so that now you find out a lot about your team, what they got in them. We'll find out.
There was a 15-yard penalty that had to be assessed on the kickoff, unsportsmanlike on the Golden Eagles. So Marshall County's got two electric return men.
Yeah.
Jones and Cawthorn are both back there, and they're standing at their own 15. So unless they put an absolute missile out there, this should be returnable. And Shelbyville tries to pooch it. Cawthorn is going to be the one to field it around the 22, and he cuts up, and he's out across the 35, and he's finally brought down just beyond the 40, maybe around the 43. So the Tigers take over, 10:52 remaining in this ball game. This has been a heck of a Thursday night showdown.
Yeah, it's the other extreme from what we had last week, which was a 9-6 game where we had 2 touchdowns scored in the last final quarter. If we get 2 touchdowns scored in this quarter, it's going to be a whole lot even better. So, well, we've already had one. Get 2 more, we'll be in.
I feel like we're in store for something new every week, partner. We had the 9-6 game last week. It's 28-21.
Covering a bunch of different teams, isn't it? Yeah, you get a
little spice of life here.
That's exactly right.
Teet's going to hand it off to Cawthorn, who just had the great return on a stretch play, and he is stretched out to the 40. Shelbyville really making him work for it, and they bring him down. That's Maddox Wright, the junior, who had a great catch a moment ago offensively. He makes a stop, and it's a loss of a couple yards.
Yeah, you called it, Wade. They did a good job stretching that out. Just get the feeling that they're going to have to really get over the top of these guys again to score.
2nd and 12. They send Hightower in motion. Teet stepping up in the pocket. Maybe a face mask? No, Teet is sacked. That was a clean play. And one of the smaller defenders, Maddox Wright, he's in on the play again. He may not get the full sack, but he's going to get at least partial credit right there. Shelbyville's flying to the football. They've had a couple sacks here in the second half.
Yeah, that's an 8-yard loss.
And it's 3rd and 20. Marshall County is
probably trying to go over the top, Wade, is you got to block.
This is a big play here. May not get it all back, trying to get a big chunk. Screen play coming. They do get it off on a tunnel to Jones, who's now running, and a window was there, but he is smacked and brought to the turf at the 35. There's a late penalty that comes in. Teat, the quarterback, was clobbered. There was a lot of pressure, as you might expect on a screen pass there. But let's kind of check everything. Jones on the tunnel screen definitely retreated on his own accord.
Yeah.
And when he went backwards, there was a small window where if he had broken one tackle, he had a huge gap on the far sideline. But Shelbyville brought him down. And it's unsportsmanlike against Shelbyville. 3rd and 20, they get a stop. And a late penalty marker is going to take it away.
1st and 10 right at midfield, Wade. That's 2 unsportsmanlike conducts. 1 forced the kickoff deep. And the 2nd, it's moved into the midfield.
But they're saying that it does not give them the first down. It's not an automatic first, so it's still 4th and 2. And they snap it. They will go for it. Teat is scrambling to his left. He's open, and Teat slides to the turf at around the 44-yard line. That is enough for the first down. Unconventional.
Another flag.
And a late penalty.
2 flags.
And the body language indicates at least one of them is against Marshall County. And it was on Teat, the quarterback. But we have an unsportsmanlike on Shelbyville. So it'll offset.
Wow. But it was, and both of them were after the play, so the play stands. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of Shelbyville.
Unconventional, like I said, to say the least, but here we are. This is a 28-21 game, just under 9 minutes to play. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night game of the week high school football coverage. Can Marshall County potentially tie it up? Going to go for the bundle here. Teat going down. Shelbyville with a great coverage sack as 3 players came in, and flying to the football was Cohen Abernathy.
Things are getting a little punchy out there. You got careful. You got a lot of extracurricular going on after the plays. You got unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. It's going to be 2nd and 14 now, right back at the 49.
That's at least the 3rd sack in the second half for Shelbyville.
Yeah,
kind of
that was a coverage sack there. He had time to throw it. He just didn't have anybody open.
Looked to 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 receivers, and all of them bottled up. Now they give on a sweep toward the left. There's blocking out to the left side, and nearly getting all of the yardage is Perryman.
13.
Needed 14, got 13. Very manageable 3rd and 1 here for the Tigers.
He just did that little run off the left. It was a sweep play to the far side of the field. Just worked his way along the line of scrimmage till he found the gap, and he was gone.
28-21, 7:40 to go. Tigers are in positive territory here. Driving left to right. Handoff goes to Perryman. Ooh, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to
push forward.
So student body pushing forward, and a late penalty comes in.
They marked his forward progress short of the first down. Don't know what we're going to get flag-wise here.
And we can hear the officials with their mics on. I wish I had my headset off right then because the official forgot to turn his mic off. We'd have really got to eavesdrop a little bit there, partner. But let's check. It's going to go against Marshall County. And I think
what did they call?
I don't actually know the official call, but I think the flag came out right when the quarterback Teat kind of ran to push up the pile.
I thought you could do that. 3rd and 6 now at the 41.
So the 5 penalty makes it just beyond midfield. 7:13 to go. This is a critical drive for Marshall County, trailing 28-21. Empty backfield for Teat. First read not there. Second read in the flat. It is caught by his tight end out to the 38. Little safety valve for Marquise Davis, who's had a couple nice snags tonight. And if Davis wasn't there, Teat was going to have to go down on a sack again.
Going to bring up 4th and 3
and
at the 30. Actually, 4th and 2 at the 37.
And Shelbyville just got a sideline warning. This is a veteran officiating crew.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Chris Bledsoe, he dabbles in the officiating game, the dark arts, if you will.
He speaks referees, didn't he?
And he said that this was a state championship crew from last year.
Going to call timeout.
And Marshall.
Osteen's going to call timeout.
Marshall County's going to take a timeout. It's a big play. 4th and 2 coming up. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Again, 30-second timeout. 28-21, Marshall County trails midway through the 4th. When we come back, you're listening to Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
My, oh my. High drama here at the Preston Hopkins Field. We are on the campus of Marshall County High School in Lewisburg, Tennessee. Week 2 of Main Street Preps Thursday night high school football game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Scott, 4th and a yard and a half, maybe 2 here coming up for the Tigers. This is a critical play late in this ball game.
It's where Marshall County would really like to have somebody like a Bailey or the other young man, and but just going to have to see what they can draw up.
And Jones just had to come out of the game again. Or he did come off the field. Marshall County out of a timeout. Luckily, they got time on this play clock. And, oh, my goodness, there's a flag thrown against the Tigers.
Be a substitution violation, I believe. All that's going to end up false start. So they held them too long, and finally a lineman jumped.
Jones came off, and I thought it was another equipment issue. We've seen that from him tonight. Then they tried to rush him back out. And amidst the confusion, one of the offensive linemen moved. So it's 4th and 7. This has been a wild last couple of moments. Shelbyville leads for the first time tonight. It's 28-21. Can the Tigers get another 4th down conversion on this drive? Teat, the quarterback, rolling to his strong side. He's got a man on the sideline. It is caught, and it is a first down.
Wow. And that's Jones.
Guess who? A.J. Jones, the star junior wide receiver. He's had a real rough night after missing the first half, but he picks up a massive first down.
Down to the 32. They needed 7, got 10 on 4th down. That's a big like I said a minute ago, you're going to find out what your team's made of. That tells you what they're made of right there. The offensive line gave him the time. The receiver ran a great route. The throw was on the money right on the sideline. Great play by Marshall County.
6:35 to go. Teat, a little bit of a pistol look here as he steps up, looking for the bundle, going for the end zone, trying to on a comeback route. They say Jones actually stepped out of bounds. There goes the hat for the referee. That's usually your indicator. Yeah, and it's incomplete either way.
I wonder if they didn't. There wasn't a mix-up between those two guys on that one. That throw did not look like he was throwing it to the end zone, which is where Jones was headed.
Yeah, I called the play as the throw to the end zone. I was kind of watching Jones there, who had a step on the DB. Sets up 2nd and 10, and I think Shelbyville wants to call a timeout, and they do. Coach Dryden takes his timeout here. And we're going to take a timeout as well. We're back right after this. 6:31 to go when we come back in 30 seconds. You are listening to Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Here we are, a second straight week of Main Street Prep's Thursday night high school game of the week coverage. And here we are, a one-score game late in the contest, 6:31, all that remains. Marshall County is converted on fourth down twice on this drive alone.
And Shelbyville did on their drive a while ago, too. So these teams are they're in it to win, and there's no doubt about it, from the coaches all the way down to the field.
It's got the feel of a playoff game,
yeah,
but it's not even a region game. It's not even a 4A versus 4A game. It's 4A versus 5A. Toss to Cawthorn. He has given up major ground, and he is dropped. Theo Washington, one of the few to greet him. Also in on the tackle was Tyson Dunn, a junior. That is a big loss of yardage. Maybe he lost a 6 or so on that play.
5. 3rd and 15 now. They have bottled that play up. He's not been able to get anything on this short side on this side of the field coming towards us on any of those sweep plays.
3rd and 15. True pistol look here. They play fake it. Looking. Teet's got to get rid of it. He's trying to scramble out of danger. And 5 actually, players converging. Lovorn, who's already got a sack in this second half, was the main one. But there were 5 players surrounding Teet, the quarterback. And with the loss of yardage, it's going to be 4th and about 25 here. They're going to have to send out the punting unit.
It's actually 4th and 28.
Woo. That's 4th and they're in kicking this ball close to Cornersville, partner.
Oh, you're right. 26.
For those that are familiar with their Marshall County geography.
Right.
That is a long way. It is a pretty good snap. Shelbyville actually had great pressure on Joyce, the kicker. But he does get it away. It bounces at the 15. It's rolling. And the Tigers down it at the 1. Great play by Gentry, who left with injury a moment ago. And Jamal Gentry bats the ball back in play before he goes into the end zone, and it's able to be downed at the 1. 4:53 to go in this ball game. Shelbyville leads 28-21.
So you're is there a penalty flag? Wait a minute.
I hope not.
The ball's coming back. False start.
Wow.
You pin the ball down at the 1 yard line. It's a false start penalty.
I said I hope not, just because that was such a well-executed play.
Yeah, you hate to say that. I mean, it was exactly what you want your special teams to do in this situation with under 5 minutes to go. You want your special teams to give you a chance to win this ball game, and they did. And then unfortunate penalty is, and now they're trying to shuffle players on the field.
Play clock hadn't even really began yet here because of the special team substitution. So 4:53 to go. Marshall County and Shelbyville both with 2 timeouts remaining. Joyce standing back, and he's going to kick this. And it's blocked. That took way too long to develop. And, oh, my goodness, Shelbyville, that is the second blocked kick of the night. And flying off the edge is Tyson Dunn, who just had a big tackle a moment ago. And Shelbyville is cooking here. They lead it 28-21, and they have the ball at the Marshall County 27-yard line after the block.
What difference that 5-yard penalty made, Wade.
Talk about the biggest change in momentum of this ball game. Looked like the Tigers were going to put together a wild, long drive and eventually score. Had to punt, had it down at the 1.
It's basically a 70-yard change of field position. what it is.
And DeLauder, the quarterback's going to keep it for one of the few times tonight. He cuts upfield. He got close to 8 or 9 yards right there. Great ball fake from the QB, Nate DeLauder.
Yeah, that was a keeper all the way. There was no doubt about that one. And pick 7. That's 7 big yards there. Actually.
So the drive fizzling out for the Tigers. And second and short, this is exactly what you want if you're Shelbyville now. It's 2nd and 3. Marshall County can only stop it 2 more times. And Shelbyville, you know what? They're going to take it to the house. I was just getting ready to say, if you want to really ice this thing, you can take a first down or 2 and bleed the clock all the way out. But why do that? You can just run 20 yards untouched around the left side edge. The big fellow, Robert Bailey, goes in for yet another touchdown.
They sealed the edge. You know, he's been making his hay up the middle all night, but they got him on the edge that time. And once he made the corner, there was great blocking downfield, and nobody was going to catch him. (34-21). The only bad news for Shelbyville is you scored so quickly. If Marshall, yes, you're down 2 touchdowns, but you at least got a shot now to maybe get back in this thing. The extra point is up, and it is good. We're going to take a timeout, folks. 35-21 is your new score. Shelbyville leads by 2 touchdowns for the first time tonight. Back in 1 minute. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50 plus different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
3:52 to go. You're listening to Main Street Prep's Thursday night Game of the Week coverage. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office alongside Scott Stewart. Wade Neely saying hello. Shelbyville just blocked a kick in a wild turn of events. Punt down at the 1 yard line. A penalty made them re-kick it. Shelbyville blocks the ensuing kick, scores 2 plays later, and they have seized all the momentum in this game. This kickoff goes in the end zone. Scott, the Tigers are down by 2 touchdowns. They got 3:52 to work with. They do have 2 timeouts remaining, but you got to be flawless from here on out, and you really need to score as soon as possible.
Yeah, and your quarterback's been running for his life back there when he does drop back to pass. I don't know if you're going to have to go heavy and go with less receivers in the route, but you're going to have to do something to protect him or else he's not going to get the ball off.
Shelbyville's had at least 3 sacks here in the second half. They had a couple plays where Teat, the quarterback, just got beyond the line of scrimmage.
They got a couple of guys, if they just go with two wide outs and stack it inside, they're not. They're going to go with 4. Keep it running back to protect him.
3:52 to go. Marshall County, as Scott said earlier, did not trail at all last week. They find themselves now down by 2 touchdowns. Pass in the slot. It is caught. It is Hightower. Hightower makes one man miss. Nearly got away from the second. He's brought down at the 32-yard line. Good pickup. Enough for the first down. And we're getting ready to run the up-tempo offense here.
12 yards to the 32. They're going to have to go up-tempo now. Yeah.
Probably could stand to go a little faster, but Everybody's so gassed after such a wild game here. Empty backfield now as they send Perryman out of the backfield. It is caught by Hightower, and he made the catch for about 3 yards, but he was also tackled just in bounds, so the clock continuing to wind here. We're already close to 3 minutes left in this game.
It's going to be under 3 when they snap it. Of course, you can't get yourself in such a position. You got to score the first before you worry about the second. But this takes taking what he's having to do too much to.
Yeah, Teat is basically calling the play to every player here. Now they run a little pop pass, picked up by Jones. Jones makes one man miss, makes a couple miss, but now he's finally going backwards and brought down by Cohen Abernathy.
Lose 5.
And dumped for a big loss there. It's about 3rd and 12 or so here.
Yep.
And they may not snap this till under 2 minutes, Scott. You're right. You got to score the first one before you even have a chance, but they definitely are going to have to think about an onside kick now. If they had scored very quickly, you could have thought about kicking it deep. They do snap it with 2:03. Teat is looking. Screen play. It's blown up. Perryman
drops it on purpose. Smart play.
Yep. You're exactly right. Perryman knew he was going to be bottled up, and he just kind of knocked it away there. And that saves Marshall County a ton of precious time there.
This is the game for Marshall County right here. 1:55 left. It's 4th down, and they say 11. I say 12.
Marshall County led this game 21-7.
Yeah, 14-0.
Crazy turn of
Shelbyville was
events.
doing everything they could to give this game away early on, but they regrouped, and Marshall County's really swapped places with them and done a lot of things to hurt themselves here in the second half.
A lot of personnel moving around. It's 4th and 11. This is the ball game here for the Tigers. Minute 55 to go. Teat loading up, firing downfield. It is caught. What a snag. And that is Randolph catching it on a deep post route, brought down at the Shelbyville 35. And we got an injury timeout for Shelbyville here. Looks
30, that's a 35-yard gain.
Woo.
Man, how big is that, Wade?
Teat stepping up in the pocket. I guess that's what I've been most impressed with by this senior quarterback tonight is when his first read is not necessarily there, he's looking to extend the play, but he's still looking to throw.
Right.
So often you see the QB, as soon as that first one's not there, they're just taking off, but he extends the play with his legs and then fires deep for the first.
And that time he just planted that foot. He had his man cutting across. We've seen him hit that young man 2 or 3 times tonight, Randolph.
And it almost looked like he underthrew it just a touch.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make sure that he didn't overthrow it, which was smart.
Had a couple of those earlier in the second half that would have made a world of difference in the way this second half is gone. So that's one of those you just don't want to mess it up, right?
Shelbyville is 0-1. Marshall County's 1-0. Are both of these teams destined for 1-1? Or can the Tigers pull something out of the hat here? Minute 45 to go. Clock winding as Teat rolls to his left, gets a good block, and allows him to find a deep man. And running down that far sideline, another catch for Jaden Randolph. This kid's on fire, back-to-back big catches. And the Tigers, he's all the way down, close to the 10-yard line.
It's going to be about 26 yards.
Down to the 9. 1st and goal here. Marshall County with 93 seconds remaining, just over a minute and a half remaining. Need to punch it in. They throw a dump pass. It is caught. Perryman makes the grab. He's brought down at the 3, however. And do you hang on to your timeouts? That is the question. You still got 2. They're looking toward the sideline. Teat doesn't know what the play is just yet. Minute 10. Teat lining them up in the gun. Deep snap. Throw over the middle. It is caught. A.J. Jones diving on the slant. Great little grab on a deep slant. And Jones from Teat has the Tigers first points of the second half to make it 27-35. And if you really want to get wild, some of your analytics folks will tell you maybe go for 2 right here. I don't think the Tigers are really worried about it. They're lining up with Joyce here. There's a good snap. There's a good hold. There's a great kick, and it splits the uprights. We're out of timeouts, folks, so we're going to stay here. 1:02 to play. Scott backs against the wall. The offense for Marshall County several times picking themselves up off the deck and finally getting in the end zone. And they'll have an onside kick here with 1:02 to try and potentially really put the pressure back on the Golden Eagles.
They go 8 plays and 80 yards, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. The big play is obviously 4th and 12 at their own 30. And they bust a 35-yard pass across the middle from Teat down to Randolph. That puts them in position. Next play, basically 2 plays. They combine for like 61 yards and get Marshall County down inside the 10-yard line. And next thing, and then it just took a couple of plays to get in the end zone from there. So I would say you don't have to throw an onside, do an onside kick, but I would. You haven't stopped Shelbyville's running attack yet in the second half. I'd go straight on onside kick right here, win or lose.
I'm with you, partner. You probably could get away with not, but then it's double chance, right? If you kick it and you don't
get it, you only have 2 timeouts. You got to remember that too. So
having not the third makes it a little trickier. But if you don't get this onside kick, you're still in potentially salvageable shape. Obviously, if you do get it, you're sitting
near midfield with a minute and 2 timeouts. Yeah.
But if you kick it deep, then you just take away any chance you have of recovering it. So you might as well give it a crack here. 1:02 as Joyce lines up. They will bounce it. It's a high ball that's free, and it's tipped. Oh, my word. It was tipped by Cawthorn, and Cawthorn, it was going out of bounds, and Cawthorn tipped it back into play, but he just didn't tip it enough, and it lands in the hands of a Shelbyville player, and the clock is stopped with exactly 1 minute to play.
1st and 10 for Shelbyville. It'll be at the 48 of Marshall County.
It wasn't exactly the way they drew it up, but Cawthorn, recognizing the extremely high bounce, tried to bat it back into play and give his guys a shot, but he just couldn't find it. And Shelbyville was able to pick it up. 1st and 10, just beyond midfield.
Tigers have 2 timeouts.
4 down linemen here. Shelbyville will give up the middle. Look out. And that's the ball game. Oh, the ball did not come.
He was sure swinging it around out there.
The ball was just floating every which way, as you might say. But Robert Bailey on 1st and 10, he just promptly rushes for 10.5, and that will effectively in the ball game now. 35-28. Marshall County will take a timeout. At least make them snap it and see if something happens.
I mean, that ball was out there to be gotten. He was carrying it. You heard the proverbial loaf of bread. It was floating around out there, but just that young man has had himself a night. And everybody needs to go pat that Shelbyville offensive line on the back. Tell them good job because they've done a good job tonight. Well, and defensive line too, to be honest with you.
And that's honestly been the biggest difference in the ball game is Shelbyville's in the second half especially has been able to get home to the quarterback with just 3, maybe 4 down linemen.
Right.
And the Tigers are going to watch the Golden Eagles line up in the victory formation. They will take it out of the shotgun. There's a knee.
One more timeout, and they're going to call it.
The Tigers will burn a timeout.
2nd and 10 Actually, second about 13.
So we got 45 seconds remaining. It is worth pointing out, strange things do happen at all levels of football, but especially in high school football.
Yeah. You notice we haven't signed off yet.
No, sir.
Want to thank the guys here at Marshall County. It's good to see all these guys. Known them for a long time, back when a lot of this coaching staff was at Giles County High School. So thank these guys for their hospitality here. And what a great facility. Great two great teams. Let's go ahead and say that before we get going. Both these teams came out and gave us a show, and everybody played hard. Shelbyville has shown that offense is no joke.
We're about a snap, maybe a second snap away from seeing this thing through. Yeah. Shelbyville should have to snap it. No, they won't. No, they will. There's about a second differential.
Yeah.
And
I'll say this. I was coming in here expecting to see more fireworks for Shelbyville as far as throwing the ball.
Yep.
No. They can throw the ball. They have thrown the ball. But the legs of number 21 and 31 are what carried this team tonight.
One more kneel down will end it. There's a 1 second differential. And unless something crazy happens, Shelbyville is going to go to 1-1. Marshall County will fall to 1-1. There is the snap. Snap, kneel down. And the Golden Eagles come in to Preston Hopkins Field and hand Marshall County a loss. This is a wild ending to this one, as Marshall County had double-digit leads on a number of occasions. And after winning 3 in a row in this series, Shelbyville snaps the streak and wins it tonight here, Scott Stewart. 35-28 is your final on Main Street Preps Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, we've had a game that's had just about everything. Wade started off with Marshall County just seeming to be dominant. Looked like they were going to run away with this ball game, even all the way up until into halftime. You know, it's 21-14, and Marshall County comes out and getting the ball. I mean, you look like that Marshall County can take control of this game, but Shelbyville, having been on the wrong end of a game like this last week, they knew exactly where they were. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They never panicked. They absolutely just kept with their game plan. Marshall County did them some favors. I'll have to say that, with some mistakes early on in that second quarter. There were about 3 plays that could have went the other way in that third quarter, and this game would have never gotten to where it is, because Shelbyville would have had to been throwing the ball instead of running it. Instead, they rip off 3 straight scores, and the next thing you know, Marshall County's fighting for their life and just can't get back.
Too little, too late from the offensive end for Marshall County tonight, as the Golden Eagles, wow, big-time comeback, and they win it tonight, 35-28. Scott and I are going to take our final timeout. When we come back, we will sign off as Shelbyville comes into Lewisburg and knocks off Marshall County. We're back in 1 minute. Main Street Preps Thursday Night Game of the Week coverage is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Let's visit with Laura from Moxie Pest Control.
What separates us from other companies in Tennessee, our mission to our customers, is to always improve the quality of life. We're considered a full encompassing service, so we're going to take care of 50+ different pests, and we'll always have your back.
Call Moxie Pest Control at 615-469-5710. That's 615-469-5710. Or visit them at moxieservices.com.
Final segment here. You're listening to the Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week, brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office alongside Scott Stewart. Chris Bledsoe was with us earlier tonight, and our producer is Justin Kulik. I'm Wade Neely saying hello. Scott, we've had two broadcasts. Both have been one-score games. Both have been wild fourth quarters. We said last week we didn't know what we were really going to do for an encore, and then we find ourselves in this situation tonight as Shelbyville comes back and wins versus Marshall County tonight, 35-28. The Golden Eagles fumbled on their first drive of the ball game, but then they block not one, but end up blocking two kicks, including one that is massively critical in the fourth quarter. And hats off to Shelbyville and Coach Dryden. This is a fantastic game tonight. Two really good ball teams. And I get the feeling that when we look at the results and the records at the end of the year, you're going to see that both of these teams are going to end up going on to have pretty strong seasons because they really kind of showed the building blocks that we saw tonight.
Yeah, and both teams, I would say both teams probably learned a little bit about themselves tonight. So early in the season, every game you learn a little bit more. I think Marshall County coming off the win, we didn't know a whole lot about them offensively. We felt like we knew a little bit about them defensively. What we found out was we didn't know really how they were defensively because they came up against a really good offensive team tonight, and Shelbyville pretty much had their way with them most of the game, really, to be honest with you. Other than Shelbyville mistakes, they really never did stop Shelbyville that much. On the offensive side of the ball, I think Marshall County found out that they've got a really good quarterback. And if they can find a running game somehow or another that can go with that, they're going to be dangerous, yeah.
Marshall County will meet Station Camp next week. That game will be played here. So back-to-back home games for the Tigers. And then Shelbyville will play host to Coffee County. And then both of those teams will get into region play. We broke down their regions earlier tonight, two really tough regions. So tonight, as wild and crazy as it was, really doesn't play anything into the fact in terms of playoffs, but a great game to have under your belt nonetheless for when you need a potential big win late in the season.
Well, you want to win them all. I mean, that's what you go out there. You don't go out there to play to lose. You go out there to play to win, and both these teams did. I think they both have some mistakes they need to clean up. I think Shelbyville did a better job of cleaning up the mistakes in the second half that cost them in the first. And I think that Marshall County actually went the other direction as far as some of the mistakes went. So, but still, there were even mistakes even later by both teams. So that there's some stuff they got to clean up. And I guess when you're on Shelbyville's side of this game, your coaches had plenty that they can use to teach with, but you still got the W. So
good win for Shelbyville. Tough loss for Marshall County. And again, that is a wrap here from Preston Hopkins Field. Next week, folks, we are back north of going up north on 65. Scott and I will be up at the brand spanking new James Lawson High School where the Lightning are set to host Stratford. Both of those teams are 1-0. It'd be fun to do a little 2-0, 2-0 next Thursday night.
If they win, they'll have to win tomorrow night.
That's what I'm saying. If they can get by, Stratford is going to play McGavock, and then James Lawson is at Sycamore. So we shall see. But either way, it's going to be fun and another great week of Thursday night high school football brought to you by Main Street Preps.
Yeah, and thank you to the Tennessee Highway Safety Commission. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. And great advice. So please listen to that advice.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you to Scott Stewart. Thank you to Chris Bledsoe, who joined us at halftime. Thank you to our president and CEO and owner, Mr. Dave Gould, part of Main Street Media, and our producer, Justin Kulik. I'm Wade Neely saying so long. Again, your final tonight, Shelbyville comes back and knocks off Marshall County 35-28. We'll see you next week at James Lawson. But for now, good night from Lewisburg, and we'll see you next time on Main Street Preps Thursday night game of the week coverage brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.